Alrighty, folks, hello there. This is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. We're finally going to do some Premier Draft Neon Dynasty. And I did read up a few about this before I'm about to get started, so kind of have a clear understanding on what the top commons are and what the colors are all trying to do. But, I might try to do something experimental. For example, if I open up like Brilliant Restoration, I might try to build around it. But without further ado, let's begin. Usually, I like to understand the meta before I dive on ahead and try some crazy things. But given the fact that this set actually hasn't even been released in paper yet, until the next couple of days, and it's still kind of in its pre-release infancy stage, I feel like it's fine just staying open and drafting, what I think are like the top commons, and staying open. But I might do something crazy. We'll see. So yeah, this is going to be a more experimental video. So I'm not exactly what the top colors are and what I'm supposed to do here, but I think from what I've been reading, it's clearly balanced. So we'll see. Maybe green slightly up ahead. Pack one, pick one. Premier Draft Neon Dynasty. We can finally stop doing these flashback quick bot drafts again. What do we open? Okay, I heard this rare is pretty good. Restoration of Iganjo. So chapter 1, you already search a plane, so that's already a nice value. Chapter 2, you can return a target. You may discard a card, and if you do, you can return target permanent with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So it also works with lands, since they can be 2 or less. And then chapter 3, you can get a 3/4 whenever it blocks or attacks. It makes a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. Yeah, I think this is definitely maybe one of the top cards in the set. So easy Restoration of Iganjo. The other cards I'm looking at are Jennifer's Visitor for the green-white enchantments deck. Pretty powerful, since if you can just load up counters everywhere, it's can just scale. But I think I'll still take Restoration here, and I think this will be my second pick here. And then in terms of commons, there's a couple of them that kind of do stand out, but I don't think they can compete at the same power level of the Restoration. And after first picking Restoration, why not follow it with a really good removal spell at uncommon? And White, just Touch the Spirit Realm is great. The problem is that the only issue is that it doesn't actually answer opposing enchantments, so keep that in mind. But as long as the target is like a creature, that's usually what you want out of a removal spell. And then the channel ability can come in handy whenever you need to flicker something. So yeah, Touch of the Spirit Realm, great white uncommon. Alternatively, what else is there? There's this Sokazan Smelter, which I think it's more of a red, black, gold card, but if you can assemble a bunch of treasures and artifacts, this card can definitely get out of hand. Arrow of Enlightenment is a fine saga. And then nothing exciting at common. There's like Tamiyo's Completion as a fine removal spell. If I want to end up in the Samurai deck, there's Imperial Subduer. But yeah, we'll take an easy Touch of the Spirit Realm, following up our powerful white rare. So I could move into white vehicles, since there's a Prodigy's Prototype. So whenever one or more vehicles I control attacks, I make a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token with this creature cruise vehicles as though it's power 2 or greater. So as long as if one vehicle attacks, you can just start generating value. There's Repel the Vial as a conditional removal spell, and then some decent commons here. Twisted Embrace as a good removal spell if I want to move into white-black artifacts, enchantments. Virus Beetle as a nice 2-drop artifact that can gain some value. Experimental Synthesizer, nice in the low curve red aggressive decks with a lot of cheap creatures. This can just generate a ton of value. And then there's Tale of Master Shishiro in white, but I'll take the hybrid gold card here. I'm not sure how white-blue pans out in this format. From what I heard it's not that great. But and you just end up drafting a deck mostly full of just good white-blue spells, and that might be the case. So we might not focus on the heavy vehicle theme. But either way, this card does seem pretty good, even if we don't have a ton of vehicles. Again, if it can attack and make pilots all day, it's quite nice. In this pack, there's Tempered in Solitude as a decent card for the red-white Samurai deck. That can, whenever you attack alone, you can generate some card advantage. But from the data I've been seeing, Imperial Oath is actually a really high pick. and a really powerful card in this format. I think it's actually rated maybe #1 or #2 best white common on 17 lands, so I'll kind of trust them on this. There's also Tawashi Guidebot, which can be a powerful card engine if you can get a bunch of modified stuff going. And either way, it enters and puts a counter onto something, so you can still pay 3 generic every turn to just tap this and draw a card. But we'll take Imperial Oath. There's also Ancestral Katana if I want to focus more on the samurai theme. But yeah, Imperial Oath is considered one of the best white commons, so we'll test it out and see how it goes. And then, speaking of blue-whites, we have 2 options here. This Channel Land, what does it do? You can discard this to return target artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to his owner's hand, and this ability costs 1 generic less for each legendary creature I control, so it's a 4-mana kind of a bounce ability. I don't think the legendary creature thing is going to come up too often, so it could actually just be worse than Moonsnare Specialist, which I heard is one of the best blue commons, and could possibly be the best common in a set. So I could consider a Moonsnare Tech Specialist here, and if we pick up, and the nice thing about Ninjutsu is that it can also work with sagas. So if we have a saga going, we can if the saga becomes a creature, we can always ninjutsu it back into our hands and then recast it. So I think I like the Moonsnare Specialist over the land, even though the land would offer us some room for more spells. I think this is just a better card, since 4-mana bounce to creature is not necessarily what you want. This pack is interesting. There's a mech hanger. I don't think it's that great. I guess it's fine since it can just make a article it can just make any vehicle into an artifact creature for 3 generic. I'm not sure if we're going to focus on the vehicles deemed that heavily. Otherwise, I can maybe just take maybe Wanderer's Intervention as a fine interaction spell if we're going to be more defensive, which I think white is pretty defensive in this format. From the data I've been seeing, white-red is not necessarily a great archetype to be in, so I don't really think I care about the Samurai's theme too much, and I think we should have enough to crew that we don't need to really make our vehicles into creatures. I think they're just going to come into become creatures naturally. So now I could pivot off of the whole white-blue if I feel like it's not where I want to be, and take like Okiba's Reckoner Raid, which is also one of the best commons in the set. Definitely really powerful, just being able to drain the opponent twice and then make a 2/2 Menacer is already impactful, since the blue card is not really exciting. Unforgiving One, from what I heard, is a little bit difficult to get going, but if you can get a bunch of modified stuff, it can be okay. But I'll take Okiba's Reckoner Raid, and then we'll speculate if we end up black-whites or something else. We'll see. And then, not much here. There's like a Random Regions Authority. It's Palm Spell. Ecologist Terrarium. From what I heard, Containment Construct could be a nice card to kind of have a bit of a combo with. If you have some spells that want you to loot, for example, like the Modern Age in blue, which could come up, you can get some value off of the Containment Construct. There's also Saibai Traspassers, which is okay if you're more aggressive. There's also the Terrarium again for a bit of fixing. I'll try the Containment Construct here. Not sure if it's good or not, and it might require a bit of a build around, but it could be okay. And then here, nothing too exciting. I think if I'm going to be in a white control deck, I don't necessarily want Experimental Synthesizer, even though from what I read it's like the best red common. It can be kind of awkward if you're playing like Imperial Oath if you end up exiling. So why not a Lucky Offering? Or I can maybe just take a Light Away. It could be fine. I don't know. Maybe Lucky Offering, we could always play a copy to maybe answer a artifact with mana value 3 less. Not sure if that's going to come up too often, but it could be fine. And then we can take maybe an Arrow of Enlightenment. Seeing some late red cards here too. Sokazan Smelter. I think it's at home in red black. I guess red blue is also an artifact themed deck. So it seems like we're seeing some late red cards. But I'll still take Arrow here. Fine. Fine artifact and enchantment, and then given that we have Okiba's Reckoner's Raid, I can maybe prioritize the Virus Beetle. So yeah, I guess we're kind of in the Esper colors. We can either end up white, blue, or white, black. Ancestral Katana. This is more like a white-red gold card, I have to imagine, for the whole samurai thing. But it's not like anything else in this pack makes me really excited. There's like Discover the Impossible as expensive Anticipate, so I'll take the Katana. Not sure if I'll play it though. But we could end up playing it if red is really open, as we're seeing late Simian Sling, which is a nice early aggressive 2-drop. And then I'm not really a big fan of the Reckoner Shakedown, but I'll take it anyway. So, alright, the first pack seems interesting. We could even maybe splash blue with Dismal Backwater. But for sure, we're locked in white as we opened up another nice white rare. Wow, Koyodai, Soul of Kamigawa's excellent. So when it enters the battlefield, another target's permanent gains indestructible as long as you control Koyodai. So you can use this to protect a creature at instant speed, since it also has flash. I highly doubt we're going to have the ability to go 5 colors to activate the activate ability, but it's still a strong card in and of itself. If this wasn't this pack, it would be a pretty interesting choice whether or not we want to commit to white-blue with Moonsnare Specialist and Okipa Reckoner Raid, since they're the 2 top commons in this set. There's also Blossom Prancer, which is a great uncommon, one of the best ones as well. But we'll take a Koyodai. So luckily we opened them a nice white rare. Not sure how good Light Paw's Emperor's Voice is. So whenever an aura enters battlefield under your control, so any aura, if you cast it, you have to cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to the aura with a different name than each aura you control, and then put that card in the battlefield attached to Light Paws. Nah, it doesn't seem like a great card. Seems like too much work. We could take another Imperial Oath, or we could take the Fall of Klanda. I mean, I don't mind Fall, maybe having some extra removal. And then the second chapter isn't relevant, but then the third chapter can make a 1/3 wall that can maybe block and draw a card. I don't think it's that exciting, but we could still take it just to stick mono whites. There's some other great black cards in this pack, Assassin's Ink, Twisted Embrace. But yeah, I could also take Imperial Oath. From what I heard, this card is kind of messed up. I'll take Imperial Oath. I'm hoping we can maybe pick up some more interaction if we're sticking mono white. Okay, wow. Tameshi, Reality Architect, is pretty powerful. So what you can do is once you have a artifact or enchantment in your graveyard, you can just activate this ability for its cost. You return a land, so that will immediately draw you a card due to the fact that it's a non-creature permanent that's being returned. And this can also be the passive abilities also can be active on the opponent's turn. So Tameshi seems quite powerful. So yeah, I don't mind going into white-blue, maybe splashing it even. And then, yeah, we can just draft like a white-blue good stuff deck, since from, again, what I'm hearing, the whole vehicles thing doesn't actually exist. So I'll take a Tameshi here. There's a Leech Gauntlets. Ooh, Modern Age, I heard, is actually quite a good card. There's a random hot shot mechanic if I want to focus heavily in the vehicles. There's also Leech Gauntlet is okay, but given that I took Tameshi, I think I want to lean towards more towards blue, and maybe not focus splashing on Tameshi since it's just so good. It's a card I'm happy, excited to play on curve. And then Modern Age also has Synergy, the Containment Construct. If we manage to discard a card with it, you can play it. So don't hate the Modern Age. It's actually one of the top 5 commons in the set, I think. Yeah, it's just really nice. So we'll take it. And then Spirited Companion is considered the best white common. There's also Moon Circuit Hacker, but maybe Spirited Companion is just maybe just more reliable, because I'm not sure if we can enable ninjutsu with this. It's better if we have some flyers and some evasive creatures. But my second pick would be Moon Circuit Hacker here, but I think Spirited Companion, our first copy, is nice, especially playing it out on turn 2 to cantrip and then bring it back with maybe Tameshi. So we're drafting a nice blue-white grindy value deck. There's some late black cards here too. Mnemonic Spear is okay. I could consider the Scoured Barons here, since I'm seeing some of these late black cards. And if we open up a Black Bomb, we can end up splashing it. And it does seem like black could be our secondary color, our third tertiary color to splash for, since we also have the Dismal Backwater. So I'm down to take the dual land, and then by taking this, we can maybe consider maybe playing a black splash over like a Mnemonic Sphere, which is okay. Ooh, I don't actually hate a Sky Blessed Samurai, but is it better than Moonsnare Specialist? This gives me another top-end evasive threat, but I might be able to get away with just a bunch of Imperial Oaths. So I don't hate Moonsnare Specialist. The flexibility is quite nice. It's really cheap, and then provides a nice body as well as interaction. Yeah, down to take another Moonsnare Specialist. I think this is one of the top commons, so it's kind of hard to consider. And Network Disruptor could be nice too, to enable ninjutsu. So yeah, not bad. And then even seeing a late silver Fur Master as a um, the signpost uncommon for blue white, but we'll take a network disruptor. Could use an early one drop and help with the whole ninjutsu. And then yeah, we'll just keep taking as many Moonsnare specialists as we can. Also seeing late Okiba Regnarate. So given that the format's still really early, not a lot of people know that these two are like the best commons in the set, and we can take advantage of that. So and then even Fall of Lord Kanda gets passed to us this late. So yeah, even more interaction. That's great. I'm definitely gonna be playing this. And then we can even try Tamuel's Completion as another removal spell in case. So yeah, not a bad deck so far. And not sure if I need a Regent's Authority. And then gotta keep in mind we can end up splashing black if we want to. But none of these black cards I'm really excited to splash. So yeah, I'll put some of these cards away in the sideboard for now because I'm not sure if I'm going to end up playing them. But yeah, everything else looks pretty cool. We don't for blue. Usually blue white is a more in most sets is like a Flyers theme, but it seems like ours is more tempo mid range, looking to keep the opponent off balance, and then maybe a kind of play more of a grindy game with Imperial Oath, Modern Age, generate card advantage with Tameshi. So it's probably the game plan is probably to disrupt the opponents while generating card advantage and value. So let's see here. Any amazing blue-white cards could just take a million Moonsnare Specialists here. There's a Befriending the Moth. There's a Incestor's Arrest, which is okay. Yeah, nothing signed. We could even take maybe the Walking Skyscraper, but we don't have that much modified to really make it cheap. We're not really looking to modify any of our creatures. So, when in doubt, I mean, given that we have triple Moonsnare, I could maybe diversify and take Incestor's Arrest. I guess I can try it here. Nothing else too exciting here. Befriend the Moths is okay. There's a random Dragonfly suit if I want to focus more on vehicles. But again, it's not a card I care about. Let's take the Arrest. And then there's a chance we can even wheel the more Moonsnare specialists. Could take another Arrow of Enlightenment. Could even consider Sky Swimmer's Koi as another flyer we could use. But we have a decent amount of 4s already. So I'm down to just take another Arrow of Enlightenment since we kind of need to work on the early curve here. There's also the Icandro Uprising. Not sure how good this card is. It could be a fine finisher if the opponent is low on life. Since you can just make a bunch of Samurai tokens, and even if the opponent creates some, they might not have enough to block it still. But still a risky decision. We also have one of the best uncommons in the set, being Twin Shot Sniper. But, I think we're locked in blue-white at this point, so we'll take an Era. And then, yeah, speaking of finishers, I could use a Skyblessed Samurai now over a 4th copy of Moonsnare Specialist. We do have some enchantments that can make it cheaper, although most of our enchantments are sagas, so they don't necessarily stick on the battlefield. But I think it's still fine. Like we could use like another extra big top end along with the Imperial Oaths in this deck. So we'll take a Skyblessed Samurai. Not sure if this card is good. Doesn't seem great. Ooh, Life of Toshiro Umezawa is one of the best uncommons in the set, along with Kappa Wrecker, and then there's also a Bomb here with Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Unfortunately, no amazing blue-white cards. There's a random Armguard Familiar. I guess there's also Searchlight Companion as something we can ninjutsu. I could consider splashing Life of Toshiro Umezawa. From what I heard, is kind of a busted card, and it does seem better than Searchlights. Searchlight can maybe give me another, again, creature I can ninjutsu off of to gain some value, but I don't think I can pass it over to Life of Toshiro Umezawa. I've been hearing a lot of great things about this card, and it's close to Mythic Uncommon. And then here, could take another Skyblessed Samurai, could take another Imperial Oath. I think it's between these two. I could diversify, take 2 of each. The problem is I don't know if I'm going to be able to discount the Skyblessed Samurai in this deck. I guess we'll eventually get some enchantment creatures, assuming they don't end up dying. So, you know what, let's split it. Let's keep it even split. Have 2 Skyblessed Samurais, 2 Imperial Oaths. So this way we have some good finishers. Not a big fan of the Futuristic Operative. There's a random Kappa Wrecker that shouldn't be in the pack still. Maybe take Befriending the Moths. Not sure if I'll play it though. So yeah. Nothing else here. I'm not going to splash any of these. Raito Sentinel is kind of a pretty, not an exciting creature to have. Like it's kind of like a desperate creature you need to have if you want to enable artifacts and enchantment synergies. Best card here is Dockside Shift, but we're not really the sacrifice deck. I'll just take the random card, and I mean we already have almost enough playables. Could even splash for maybe Long Reach of Night or Disenchantment's also just really powerful. They call this Eldest Reborn, 2.0. It's not necessarily as good as Eldest Reborn, since it doesn't reanimate any creature you want from a graveyard, but it's still decent, nice 2-for-1, and then later you get a 0/4 that can start attacking. So I might consider splashing the Long Reach of Night. Yeah, I'm not, or just take another Moonsnare Specialist. Yeah, we might not even need the Black Splash if we're gonna get a million Moonsnare Specialist. Alright, take the random Tamio. Not sure if I'll play two copies. You'll see. And yeah, this is a really interesting 3-color deck. I think I'm going to splash for black in that I have 2 duels. I don't really have any ways to search lands necessarily, but it should be fine. We can just throw in like 1 swamp, since the cards are just really powerful. And I don't think befriending the moths is also just okay. Like I could go for befriending the moths anyway, since it's not necessary. It doesn't make the opponent discard like the Long Reach of Night. I don't think the Long Reach of Night is like a bomb or anything, even though people state it's Eldest Reborn 2.0. So I could still end up cutting it and just go on blue-white, honestly. The Shiro is really powerful. I'm not sure if I can cut that. Maybe it's fine having that as my only splash over like a Wanderer's Intervention or Lucky Offering. And I think this is just a better card. It doesn't really have that much synergy though, so once it becomes an enchantment creature, you can use its ability to cast an instant or sorcery. But there's a lot of there's a lot of 1 toughness creatures in the set that this doesn't mind taking out. So maybe we could just run Befriending the Moths, or we can just go completely blue-white, honestly. There's Containment Construct. We don't really have much synergy with it outside of like a random Modern Age. So maybe I can just cut Life with Toshiro. It's a cool card, but again, I think maybe the deck is powerful enough that we don't need it. And then the final card, maybe like a Wanderer's Intervention over like a Tamio's Completion as a little bit more cheaper interaction. So maybe down to just run this blue-white deck. Has some decent creatures in the early game. Keep in mind the enchantments are creatures with a bit of value. So yeah, we have a ton of interaction, removal, bounce, some flyers to close out the game. Befriending the Moths is also a flyer, can also give a creature flying. And then there's Imperial Oath as a way to maybe stall the ground. So yeah, we can try something like this. Seems like a really cool deck. And the mana base can just go 9/8. We don't need that much blue in the early game, outside 1 Network Disruptor and 1 Modern Age. So I could maybe consider 10/7, but maybe that's a little bit too much of a stretch. We don't necessarily also have the best deck to ninjutsu the Moonsnare Specialist until our enchantment creatures become creatures, but we'll still try this out, I think. And then, yeah, 10/8 could be fine. I could also go 10/7, but maybe that's too much, since I might need to ninjutsu these on turn 3, or maybe just cast them on turn 4. I don't have much blue though, so it can be kind of awkward if we get a bunch of blue mana and then nothing. So you know what, let's go 10/7, should be okay. Or, yeah, actually, let's try 9/8 for now, and let's see how this deck works. So yeah, let's give it a shot. And again, I don't think blue-white really has a theme. Like they say, it's the vehicles deck, but I don't really want to just play a bunch of the vehicles. The vehicles at common are just very medium and average, honestly. Only the rares and a few couple of uncommons or vehicles are the ones that stand out the most. The common ones are just okay. Like one of them is a 4-mana 6/6 with crew 3. The other one at commons like a crew 1 that's a 3/2 flying. All just okay cards. It's not like they have any relevant abilities to honestly. And I guess there's also the 7/7 Vigilance Haste. I mean the 7/7 Trample Haste for 7 mana with Crew 2. Alright, we can lead with maybe like a Restoration of Iganjo. No 2-drops, but it's okay. It's a solid curve if we can get everything down, and then we can maybe play a Tameshi in the late game to maybe fetch back an enchantment if it ends up going in the graveyard, so we'll see. So opponent's playing green, so the best color apparently, that's what people are saying, Azusa's Many Journeys. Sure, so you can gain some life, ramp a bit, and then make a 3/3 later on. Opponent's going to have a little bit more tempo than me, but that's fine. Right, and then I guess we can play our rare. And then we can even discard a land and then play a tap next turn. We can even discard a land that we drew, so this card is already good by itself. Next turn we can even consider bouncing the 3/3. He does get to recast it again, but you know, it's not like it's drawing him a card. Shrine Steward can help him find a enchantment here. I could also keep a Wanderer's Intervention. There's a Twisted Embrace. Okay, well, yeah, why not? Let's just discard the land that he knows about, and then just replay it. And then we can play blue mana. Could just cast Befriending the Moss, but I don't have a target. I could also play Moonsnare Specialist and bounce the 3/3, or just Wanderer's Intervention on the 3/3. Yeah, this is very interesting here. Yeah, we could use Wanderer's Intervention to kill this, and then just say go. Next turn we can play Sky Blessed, although I don't want to play Sky Blessed into a Twisted Embrace. So I might as well use this on the 3/3 and hope it resolves. And hope he doesn't have the 1 mana hexproof. Take a bit of damage. And then what does this? I think this is up to, so I don't necessarily have to do so. So he's probably gonna use removal on my 3/4, which is interesting. It has Summoning Sickness. I guess I can bounce the Shrine Stewards. He can also find more auras, unfortunately. But at least by bouncing it, the thing is he won't have a creature to attach the Twisted Embrace to, otherwise this will die. Or maybe it's fine that it ends up dying, and then we can... I guess we can give him 2 targets. We can play the Sky Blessed Samurai for him to kill. Because the thing is, the Tameshi can also just bring back our enchantments anyways. So I'm down to play the Sky Blessed Samurai, and if he kills the 3/4 or any of them, I can always bounce the creature back so it loses the aura. I guess he could have another removal spell here. But the game plan is to get Tameshi and eventually just another removal. Okay. It kind of sucks that when if we bounce these Shrine Stored, he's just gonna get another enchantment back again, and we'll be taking 4. But maybe it's still fine. And hope he just runs out of auras. I guess I just go for it here. Maybe it wasn't correct doing that play. He does get value here. I guess I can just play Tameshi here. I mean, I have to play him eventually and say go. Then we can get back Tameshi, unless he has a removal spell. Sometimes I guess you can just play all the removal spells in the black deck and get away with it. So, wouldn't be surprised if I see another Assassin's Ink. But yeah, I don't mind returning Sky Blessed Samurai or the Restoration and drawing a card. That's going to be pretty nice. So if I return the Sky Blessed Samurai, I won't be able to cast it. But if I return Restoration, I can. So hopefully he's out of Twisted Embraces and he doesn't have any more, so that's good. So now what we can do is we can bring back Restoration for 3 rights. I guess it returns to the battlefield. That's really awesome. So I could just return to Sky Blessed Samurai. Okay, yeah, this card is busted. Let's do that. I wasn't reading correctly, but now, yeah, Tameshi is, actually, no, this is wrong. I almost clicked the, yeah, I just want to get the big flyer. I think it's better than Restoration. And then all we need to do is return a land, which is kind of crazy, so just return an island. And we also draw a card, so. And if the opponent tries to also just return something to his hand. Okay, so I'll attack for 2. Since the 4/4 can block, I could leave this behind in case he has a second Twisted Embrace. But yeah, Tameshi can just keep bringing everything back, so it's kind of an unfair card, assuming it doesn't get answered. Yeah, and the opponent just realizes I'm just gonna keep looping everything over and over. And just drawing a lot of cards, so yeah. Pretty powerful rare. So it goes to show maybe removal is just not as good in this format because of bombs like Tameshi, and then all the sagas being able to trigger their first and second chapter for value before they end up dying from a removal spell. So yeah, it seems like this could just be a more grindy format where you're just trying to outvalue the opponents with sagas and bombs. Not saying aggro doesn't exist. You can definitely go red aggro, but it does feel bad if the opponent can stabilize and again resolve something like Tameshi and get away with it. So, and I've been looking at the data. It shows that the best decks in the format are black green and white green, and I think green is the control color of this format. So, it goes to show maybe this is a much more of a grindy format than aggressive. And yeah, I heard green is just so deep at common that it's gonna be like I don't want to say the boogeyman, but kind of like the deck to beat in this format. This hand is okay. We have a Modern Age. I don't really want to discard any lands for my Imperial Oath. I think it's still okay to keep. We can maybe discard like a Wanderer's Intervention or something, or maybe even the Moonstar Specialist, since we have like 3 more copies of this in the library. So. Opponent's playing red, okay, no red 1-drop, so that's already a good sign. You can always discard a second Moonsnare Specialist. Dragon Spark Reactor, okay. So it's just going to keep growing and then it's going to deal a lot of damage. Yeah, let's just play our Modern Age, and I think we actually discard Specialists. Or a land if I'm kind of risky here. Land could be okay, but maybe a Specialist can still go just to be safe, and then next turn we can discard a land. Familiar has War 2, so it's going to take a while before we can actually answer this. Ooh, Prototype's Prodigy is not bad. I think now we can discard land given that we have so many islands. Now we can play land and then play the Prototype. And then if we're able to crew and attack with this, then we can just make pilots over and over, which is also quite powerful. The Dragon Spark Reactor will eventually be able to kill it once it gets to 4 counters. But we'll see. Experimental Synthesizer, so opponent's going to go off with artifacts, and yeah, this is a powerful strategy. And this is also instant speeds, but it's 4 mana, which is a lot, so 1,000,000 Armed Guard Familiars. Can maybe play an Arrest. I can enchant his permanents and prevent it from activating, which also isn't a bad idea. I guess I can crew and attack this turn too. And if I crew, the question is, do I want a ninjutsu? Probably not. How much is this? So this enchanted creatures can't attack blocker. Its activated abilities can't be active once unless they're mana abilities. So I actually like to. I think arresting the Dragon Spark Reactor is correct. But for now, I think we can attack and generate some value for our vehicle. And the question is, do I bounce my vehicle back with the ninjutsu? Probably not. But we'll wait until blockers first. If I do, it's not great since I can't really bounce anything unless... I guess I can if I pay... No, I would need to pay 3 mana and 2 more to mess with the configure, so this is okay. And then I think we arrest a reactor before it destroys us, and we'll see go. And we can easily block a 2-1 unless he stacks them both on top of each other. But yeah, we can just keep generating value with this. I could even take it and then just keep crewing and making 1-1s all day. So yeah, not bad uncommon for blue-whites. I think this could be the best vehicle in blue-white, not sure. It's just that, again, the common vehicles aren't amazing. And then, yeah, the problem with also playing blue-red with the experimental synthesizer or red in general is you need a lot of cheap stuff. But luckily the opponent hits a land. Otherwise, like, if you need to spend full mana to sack and you just end up exiling something, it's not necessarily amazing. So now the opponent's probably forced to stay back. So let's see here. I can crew again and attack. If I crew again and attack, what happens? He can go for a double block, but we have Wanderer's Intervention. So I think I'm down to do so. And then I think we can safely crew to pilots. Question is, do I want to attack with a 2-2? 2-3. The 2-3 does hold off the 2-2 back. So I guess I can stay back with it. And then just attack with the vehicle. And then Wanderer's Intervention can blow up his double block. So we'll do this, and then I think we intervention the 2-2 just to be safe. So I could have also attacked with 2-3, but I wasn't sure if he was gonna end up blocking with the double arm guard. Now I can play double Tameshi. Nothing to get back currently, so I might hold on to it. Maybe it's still fine playing it as a random 2-3, but I think we should be fine. I don't want to run out my bomb here, especially when there's nothing for me to get back. Construct can be kind of interesting if you have discard synergies. I was just talking about this card. Yeah, luckily we arrest this Dragon Spark, otherwise it would have been a problem. I'm fine if he wants to do this. We can say go, and I guess we can bounce this now with Moonsnare Specialists, so we can do the whole ninjutsu thing with the Vector Glider. Not sure if I want to though, since I'm not sure if I want to draw and discard anything. I guess I can crew to pilots and then attack with the Vector Glider. He blocks the Prodigy's Prototype. I still make a 1-1 and I can still bounce this. So yeah, let's just try that. I can even consider attacking the 1-1, since I think he's going to try to block this prototype, so let's move the combats. Attack with all. I make a 1-1. And then there's a chance he blocks the 1-1 token, which I'm fine with as well. But with this block, what we can do now is we can ninjutsu. Vector Glider, play the targets, and then pay the ward cost for 2. And then just waste his whole entire turn. We only get him for 1 damage, but we do get to get in for a couple damage and then waste a lot of his time, so. He could reconfigure again, but we can still attack with the Moonstare Specialist. And maybe get Era and Tameshi down, or play Imperial Oath. Yeah, this game could be over. And I'm probably not going to crew an attack with this, but yeah, I guess we can just cast Imperial Oath and win the game. That's how it works, move the combats. I could attack with all, but, you know, I don't really want to give him free pilots, so I'll just attack with the Moonsnare Specialist. He's probably just going to take it here. Voltage Surge, not bad. That's fine. Interesting he decided to do that. I guess he wanted to put it in the graveyard to eventually get it back, so that's reasonable. But we'll cast Imperial Oath, the Mythic Common. Ooh, and there's a lot of goodies. Befriending the Moths is nice. Also, Touch of the Spirit Realm. Yeah, I don't mind befriending. Next turn we can maybe get in a good attack, especially if we give the vehicle flying. And then we could use Moonsnare Specialist to bounce or Touch to remove something. I'll keep it on top like this. Imperial Oath is such a powerful common. I think we would need to crew first, before we do the whole thing. That this is okay. It can't really block the flying prototype, so we'll say go. And then, yeah, I guess we might as well crew first. I could also be befriending the Moths on the 3-3, maybe. But I think I just want to get my vehicles going, so... Yeah, let's crew here. I mean, get more pilots, so let's play befriending the Moths. Pump the prototype. Move the combat, attack 4-4, make a pilot. And then I guess we can play Era, since I have nothing to discard. Am I afraid of any sweepers in red? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's any... I know there's a seismic wave that can deal 2 and then deal 1 to everything, but I'm not sure if there's other sweepers. I already scryed already. I guess I don't mind Moonsnare Specialist to bounce his 3-3 to waste his time. And then next turn, in the following turn, we can maybe exile it with the enchantment. So yeah, it does seem like these sagas are pretty powerful. The Era is okay though, doesn't seem amazing. I'm also not a big fan of this ninjutsu creature, since it's a fine blocker, but unless you're playing in a deck full of cheap artifacts like Dragon Spark Reactor and the rest of these, it's not great. Yeah, but you know, it makes sense in this deck, so I respect that. Yeah, so the opponent's going to do that, so we can bounce it next turn. Yeah, we'll see go. I think I'm fine just casting a full value Moonsnare Specialist. Could have, I guess I can put everything on a stack first before it resolves. Darn. Why do these have the trigger? I should put a stop on my upkeep. Okay, that's fine. We'll still hit for 3 in the air. But I should have put a stop to my upkeep because I want to attack with the vehicle for an extra damage and also to make a pilot, but this is fine. And then I could attack with the prototype, but then he has a good double block, so we'll just attack for 3. And then we can even swarm and do an all-out attack next turn. I'm not sure if it's going to be lethal. He probably has enough blockers though, so we might have to wait. Yeah, I could take out the Koi with the touch and then attack with all. Or crew one of my sagas. Or maybe I wouldn't have enough mana to do so, so... I don't know why I'm holding full control anymore. And then we just get these creatures back. And it's probably just game over. I guess the opponent realizes he doesn't have enough blockers. And yeah, we got to number 6 Mythic over 2 games. So yeah, the early stage of this format seems really fun. A lot of people are experimenting. A lot of cool decks emerging. And yeah, this seems like a great format. Maybe an all-timer. So we'll keep playing. Number 6 Mythic. Alright, we have Arrow of Enlightenment. We can then cast Prodigy's Prototype, and then by then, the following turn, we should have a creature we can crew. Don't hate this. Seems fine. Arrow's not the most amazing enchantment, but if you need some 2-drops, it's okay. I think the format's slow enough that's fine, so the opponent's going to make us discard here. Probably have to discard a land. Hopefully he doesn't have a way to ninjutsu this Virus Beetle. Otherwise it might become a problem. I could also consider keeping the Wanderer's Intervention up. Ooh, Moonsnare Specialist. Don't really want to bounce. I think I like all these cards. But I could use some extra lands, in fact. I'm definitely going to keep Tameshi. Maybe I can bomb the Moonsnare Specialist since I eventually need to cast this Sky Blessed Samurai. But it's close. I think we keep it. I'm hoping he doesn't ninjutsu the Virus Beetle. Otherwise, he can just keep looping it and making me discard, which can be kind of annoying. So please don't no ninjutsu. Okay, no ninjutsu. Searchlight Companion. So I might play Tameshi just so I can block the 1-1. Because otherwise, if I can't block the 1-1, the problem is he can ninjutsu, but I could still maybe risk it and play the prototype, and then next turn we can crew make some pilot tokens. Because I want to get this down immediately, and there's a chance he has removal for Tameshi. So you know what, I'm going to play land and play the prototype, and then if he makes me discard, maybe the intervention can go. But I'm hoping he doesn't ninjutsu out the 5-5, otherwise that's going to become a problem. So he doesn't play a land, and he didn't ninjutsu last turn, so he's just poking me here. Alright, that's fine, Network Terminal. I can get behind that, and we also have an arrest here. So now we can start crewing, and then we can also start generating 1-1 tokens to block, so that's good. And then, do I play out Tameshi here? I don't think I need to rest anything. This is also mana ability, so even if I rest this, he can tap for mana, so I guess we can just run out Tameshi and be fine. And then say go. No enchantments in the graveyard, but I think it's fine running it out this early. And then if Tameshi dies, I can still block the Virus Beetle. And this is also only sorcery speed. And if he kills and if he kills any artifacts or enchantments, I can again buy them back with Tameshi, put it on the battlefield and draw a card. So yeah, definitely a great rare. Just hopefully he doesn't have a way to bounce Virus Beetle. I'm fine if he ninjutsus the Searchlight Companion. It does get annoying if he has chunk blockers, but that's pretty much it. And then I'm fine playing out land, and if he makes me discard with a second Virus Beetle, I'll get rid of the Wanderer's Intervention. And next turn I can crew and attack, and guess what, if it dies, I can still, I'm blocking the Virus Beetle here. Not going to block the 1-1, because he could have, you know, that, what's that card? The card that says, you're already dead. If he deals combat damage to me, he can, kill by finish off my creature, so it's fine. I think having the Virus Beetle in the grave, killing this Virus Beetle is correct. Hopefully he doesn't have a way to buy it back and recast it. Yeah, I think this is actually better than the Twisted Embrace, believe it or not. So the opponent's hovering over Tameshi again. This does not imply they have removal, FYI, guys. They did it to us in the first game. I guess he does. RIP. But we can keep crewing and attacking, which is nice. Can even bounce the token if we want to. Yeah, I guess we can bounce the token and then attack with a hand, and as well as crew the prototype, so seems fine. And then this way we can still keep making 1-1s, keep crewing and attacking. So yeah, great uncommon. And we still have 2 removal spells to deal with opposing threats. So hopefully he doesn't ninjutsu out the 5-5. But if he does, I still have an arrest to answer it, so opponent's just going to stay back. We can play out the Modern Age. I guess I'm fine crewing and attacking first. I guess he could have the You're Already Dead card stuck in his hand, so I might want to Wanderer's Intervention to Searchlight Companion. Lethal Exploit, that's fine. And if he blocks with the Searchlight, I could Wanderer's Intervention it and be okay. Yeah, he probably has it here. This block is awkward, so I'm going to Wanderer's Intervention here, just so he doesn't cast You're Already Dead. It looks like a waste, but I don't think it is. Does he have a way to... I guess he has a way to sacrifice it, maybe? Yep. with Reckoner's Bargain, so that's fine. So, do I play out the Modern Age? I guess I might as well. And then I might discard the Skyblessed Samurai. Or I can just discard land. Maybe I can still discard the land. Still early enough. But this card is going to be stuck in my hand. It's kind of awkward because I want the lands, but I also want the Skyblessed Samurai. Kami, I can arrest. Okay, now I can discard the land. Yep, this is okay, and then we're getting closer to a Skyblessed Samurai, so I don't mind just using the enchantment now here. So then I can keep crewing and attacking, and then I can get a 5/5. I can get a 5-mana Skyblessed Samurai down next turn, and keep crapping out 1/1s. And hopefully not another Virus Beetle, because I want this flyer out there. And then we can even, if we pick up another Specialist, we can bounce to Modern Age. Ooh, that's annoying, but at least it's not a Virus Beetle. And it's only just a random body, so yeah, I guess it's not that threatening. So first things first. I guess we can crew an attack first. Might as well crew the Vector Glider. And then find swinging in the team. And you could have a Farewell or a board wipe. So maybe I should be careful. Yeah, if he has double wipe for Farewell, I might need to be careful, so maybe I can still stay back for another turn. There's no board wipes in black. The only thing I'm afraid of is Farewell. But I guess if he had Farewell, he would have just used it. So I guess I'll just run out my flyer. Not sure if this is correct. It could be absolutely wrong. Yeah, so he had the "You Are Already Dead." Knew he had the card, okay, so I guess playing this out wasn't that bad. And then might as well play out land because he could have another Virus Beetle and hope he doesn't have the sweeper here. We speculated on this earlier, so using the Wanderer's Intervention wasn't that bad, but it's just so hard to play around this, honestly. Yeah, we got him. Vehicle does it again, making a bunch of 1/1 tokens. And we still get to retain our, remain at a pretty nice ranking. So 3-0. We just need 4 more wins, and we should be fine. We still have a lot of gems to fire off another draft after this one. The last opponent just didn't do much. I think he was trying to go for some sort of white-black reanimator strategy with the Okiba Salvage and the Kami of Terrible Secrets. Honestly, I think the whole art of controlling an artifacts and enchantments theme is not really something you need to build around much. It just kind of happens, so to speak. You just play good cards. Eventually, you'll find a good artifact in the draft, and then enchantments are not difficult to get going because there's all the sagas are just really good. So if you pick up like even a couple Virus Beetles, you're already going to have enough enchantments and artifacts. So I don't think there's a build around that just happened that you need to focus much on. So you can just end up drafting a deck full of good black-white gold cards. Good black-white cards. And eventually you'll have a board state with an artifact or enchantment. So it's kind of like modified in a sense. It just happens. So if you're ever drafting, modified is not really something that's too focused on in this format. There are a couple cards that obviously care about being modified, but it's not like a major theme going on. And then you can just play those cards in your deck because you will eventually have modified, assuming that you are in the colors. Assuming you're in green and red, obviously. This hand isn't bad. We can use the Modern Age to maybe draw into another land. The Fall of Lord Konda can answer something expensive. I'll try it. We might have to ditch the Skyblessed Samurai, since it's kind of expensive, or maybe the Fall, I mean, we'll eventually get these back later with Tameshi, assuming Tameshi doesn't die, so... Right. So green-white, the boogeyman, right, of the formats. I think it's between green-white and green-black. I guess we can play Arrow Enlightenment first over Modern Age, since I'm not really looking to loot. And then next turn we can consider Modern Age, or... I actually don't hate any of these lands, honestly. Yeah, we'll keep all the lands on top. So then we also have lands to discard with the Modern Age and draw into. I think I might need to lock this down because it can be kind of scary. Especially since he can loop this over and over and do some annoying things. I can't exile anything yet. Could just fire off the arrest on the Shigeki, honestly. Since he's already tapped out, it's not really a mana ability. And then him, again, being able to loop back everything's kind of annoying. Or I can just play the Modern Age. Although if I make a flyer, the 3/3 can still block it. So it's kind of interesting here. I think we fire off the arrest to get the enchantment online. And then I'd rather arrest this over the Bamboo Grove Archer, since I don't really want this again bouncing back to his hand and then just looping stuff out of his graveyard. It can be kind of scary. Unfortunately, this can't attack, so that's good. Got a random 2/2. I can exile this Befriending the Moths, or I can wait until the creature half comes out, since I don't really care about the plus ability. I can also bounce Bamboo Grove Archer, make him recast it, but I don't have any good attacks. So I think it's fine playing out the Modern Age here. And then we also have access to touch the Spirit Realm, which is nice. So I'm probably going to exile this once it becomes a creature. Opponent seems to be flooding. He could just cast an Imperial Oath next turn, so I might want to keep the 2/2 back. When we got another Skyblessed Samurai, so that's nice. So we can draw. I don't really want to discard any of these, but it's probably the Moonsnare Specialist, maybe. Since I do want to keep hitting my lands. Or I can get greedy and discard the planes, but it is a second planes. So maybe Moonsnare Specialist can go, and then we can still run out to Skyblessed Samurai and play another land and take it from there. Could see like a removal spell for enchantments, who knows. And then no attacks. Opponent's going to get a 2/4 next turn. We can exile the 2/4 with Fall. Save the Spirit Route Touch for something else. Maybe cast a 2-mana Skyblessed Samurai. Ooh, there's Kamiya Transience. So I think we need to answer that as well. Do I need to answer it now? I think I want to get in for 4 this turn, so what I want to do is... I think I use Fall on... actually, let's play Skyblessed Samurai first. And then we want to Fall the Imperial Moth. And then maybe next turn we take out the Kami. And then we can still hit for 4 and hope he doesn't have a trick. So this can keep coming back if enchantment was put into his graveyard on the battlefield at the end of every turn. So it's this turn, so it's any turn of each end step, so it's quite powerful. You can just keep bringing this back and also keep growing this. So luckily we have touch to answer a 2/2. I can also answer the Bamboo Grove Archer if I think it's gonna get too scary here. Or I guess I can even answer this or bounce it back. I guess I can even bounce it 3/3, but if I bounce it, he can get it back. So I might actually do this. I might actually touch the 3/3 because we might just win the race. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually exile this Bamboo Grove Archer and be kind of greedy here. And then I guess I can still ninjutsu the Vector Glider and recast it next turn. And bounce the Greater Tanuki, so we can do this. So going off with some of our cute combos. And Tanuki can go back, so this will slow him down. And then next turn he's dead, unless he can clear both of these, so. Some cute blue-white Saga tricks. So, yeah, at first impressions, when this format was introduced, I thought ninjutsu would be really underwhelming, since there wasn't a lot of one-drop enablers, like in Modern Horizons 1, like the Network Disruptor and Okiba's Ragnar Raids are good commons that can enable ninjutsu, but they were not the same power level of Fairy Seer, the 1-mana 1/1 blue that can scry 2 with flying, and then there's a 1/1 changeling outcast that also counts as a ninja and is unblockable. So I thought at the start, looking at the cards in the set, ninjutsu would be underwhelming because also the ninjutsu cards are also just didn't seem quite powerful. They didn't make 1/1 bird tokens whenever they connected or drew you a card like Ingenious Infiltrator. But now that you can bounce the sagas back to your hand and then recast them back for value, ninjutsu actually is a strong mechanic still. Not as oppressive as Modern Horizons 1. One, since you don't have access to Smoke Shroud and like 1-mana like String of Disappearance, and the ninjas are not as broken, nor the enablers, but it's still pretty nice to bounce back a cheap saga, assuming it has flying or evasion or doesn't go blocked, and just recast it again for more value. So yeah, ninjutsu seems really fun in this set and pretty balanced. So this is really fun, and we're currently 4-0 too. Been really impressed with the Moon Snare Specialist so far. Arrow of Enlightenment's okay. I can see cutting one if I was to redo this draft. But yeah, I could also consider splashing the life of Toshiro Umezawa as well. But yeah, I think sticking with 2 colors is more consistent. And we still haven't seen our 4-mana flash 3/3 give a creature indestructible dragon yet. Alright, opening hand, there's Spirited Companion for card advantage. Yeah, I'll keep this, and we also have the Modern Age. I think this is like the 4th best blue common. I think it goes Moonsnare Specialist number 1, Network Disruptor number 2, and then number 3 would be the Moon Circuit Hacker, and then the Modern Age would be number 4. Blue has really powerful commons in this set. Like those would be the top 4, and then I think it kind of, funny enough, it does kind of fall off after that. But we'll get the companion down. I think this could be the best white common, along with Imperial Oath and Ancestor's Arrest. Not sure how I'd rate it. Ooh, could play out Tameshi if I want. Maybe that's a little bit too early. I don't mind just getting the Modern Age down, honestly, and then save Tameshi for later in case we're afraid that she ends up dying. Like, I don't want to throw this into a removal, it's just too powerful. Like, we can have a turn where if the opponent's tapped out, we can cast Tameshi and bring back one of our creatures as well. So, do I need to rest this? No, I can Specialist this, though. I could also attack and use the Wanderer's Intervention if he decides to block. But I think I'm down to just play a full cost Specialist and make him recast. I could also save it again for the Modern Age, but I think it's okay. I guess I can attack with a Specialist and or attack with both and use Intervention and then play Tameshi. Decides to block the 2/2. Interesting. Do I want a Wanderer's Intervention that? Not necessarily. I think I can let it go. And then I think I can play Tameshi. And the question is, do I play land? I think it's fine, since I need double blue, and then if he has a Beetle, I can discard Intervention and I should be okay. Alright, there's the rest. I guess I can flicker Tameshi, funny enough. Or I guess I can exile the Ancestor's Rest. It's the same thing, I guess. Yeah, let's just do it. And then it still comes in, so I can still attack with it next turn, so And the opponent just concedes. Wow. That's interesting. Sure. Number 4 Mythic. Hey, this is just our first Neon Dynasty draft. Come on. Why am I number 4 Mythic? This shouldn't make any sense. I understand that I know how to draft my right choices, but come on, it's only the beginning of the format. The format's still really early, and this is like our first Neon Dynasty draft. I should not be like number 4 Mythic. I guess I can owe it all to cheating MID and doing the stupid drafting blue in Midnight Hunt and double feature. I don't know. Number 4 Mythic. I don't know if I even deserve this ranking, to be honest. Like, I'm not even sure if I made the right choices in the draft. I just know what the top commons are in my head, and that's pretty much it. And then I just read some of the rares, and I just knew that they were powerful. So don't take this all with a grain of salt, guys. Even if I might go 7-0 with this, and I'm number 4 Mythic in this video, might not necessarily be the way to navigate the format. FYI. Because who knows, the meta could change in a week. Maybe people start exploiting the aggressive decks. Maybe green just becomes overly oppressive, and there's no way you can ever beat it. Or maybe blue just becomes the best color. I don't know. Everyone's just experimenting here, and then people are just conceding early. Alright, what's this? Some expensive cards. No early game, unfortunately, so I'm not sure if I want to keep this. I hate the mulligan. This could be a really bad keep, though. I don't know. I'll risk it. Again, I'm not too tied. I know my record is good, and I'm number 4 Mythic, but it's still really early, and, everything could change. We'll see. We can even lock something down early to maybe get a discount on this Sky Blessed Samurai. The Zumi Prowler on turn 2 isn't bad. Ooh, Restoration could be nice. We'll say go. Since this only flickers, I'll take a bit of damage. Next turn we can grab a Plains with this, and then use this to ramp a bit. Could even touch this if I want, but it seems like a waste. Or I can use the Arrest if I think I'm taking too much damage. Yeah, I'll play the Restoration here. At least I'll take a little bit more damage, but at least I can ramp since the next ability, the next trigger can put the land in tapped. And then I guess I can Moonsnare Specialist this, but by doing so he gets another good ETB. So I might actually want to maybe use a removal spell instead. Yeah, we'll discard the Plains and recast it, since it's only mana value 2 or less. Get a nice discount. Yeah, I guess we can still play lands. Do I bounce the 3-4? I think I do. I could also arrest the 3-4, and then next turn we can Imperial Oath to hold off the 3-1, because by bouncing this, there's a chance he can replay it, which is kind of annoying. But getting the Moonsnare Specialist down in trading also isn't bad. Yeah, let's just do this. Sure, I might give him the ability to gain a life and draw, but that's fine. And I'll probably gonna play out one more land, and then I'll sandbag the rest of the lands later. So at least we get rid of an artifact. Opponent plays a Muktai Ambusher, which is fine. We get a 3-4, and then, yeah, I'll play out land and hope he doesn't have a Virus Beetle. Imperial Oath. Okay, we can put Spirit Companion first, maybe put land on the bottom, and then draw into our Ninjutsu guy. Play our Mythic Common here. Imperial Oath is just an absurd common. Wow, even had the Dekuchi Shadow Walker. So we're probably gonna draw a card here and then I guess bounce the 5/5 and then attack with all. Yeah, this is absurd. I could even bounce my creature as a Saga, but I think bouncing this is correct. And then I'm fine if he blocks a 2/2 here. I'm also fine if he concedes. And then I can also just use a removal spell on the Shadow Watcher. Blossom Prancer is really powerful, but luckily we have removal to answer it. So if we play the Arrest, how much mana? So we play the Arrest is going to be 5 mana, so we need 8 mana total to give this a discount and recast it, so I think it's still fine. I guess we can play Era still, so yeah, let's lock this down. Let's play the Era, gain some life, scry 2. And then, wow, yeah, just a bunch of great cards. I'll keep them both on top. And then, yeah, we'll just attack with all. Make more 1/1s. He can trade it for 2/2. And then next turn he's probably dead if he just keeps playing large creatures, so... yeah, just being able to outvalue and out-tempo the opponents in our blue-white deck. And then the fact that it just makes 1/1s all day is really annoying, so... doesn't own an artifact, so yeah, now we can just exile the 3/4, and that's probably game. Alright, 6-0. Alright, for our first Neon Dynasty draft. Alright, let's face the final boss. Yeah, it should be easy to get to 7. Not sure if it's going to be 7-0 or 7-1 or 7-2. But yeah, so far the games haven't been too difficult. But I'm hoping I can eventually face against a tough opponent, so I can kind of use my analytics to determine what the best decks are and what you should be doing in this format. But it seems like it's like a mix of the best decks could just be the green grindy control deck, or maybe blue based tempo. Not necessarily blue black ninjutsu, but it could be like blue anything, blue red, blue white, blue green, since the blue commons just seem really powerful. Being able to just keep the opponent off balance and being able to disrupt and to almost time walk the opponent's creatures, assuming they're playing large stuff. So very interesting format. Not sure about the red aggressive decks yet. I think the red decks are kind of narrow and kind of all in from what I've been reading about. And you know, it's not saying that they're bad, but if you're going to be drafting red, you need to really have narrow focused linear strategy, i.e., you need a bunch of 1-drops. You need to be very aggressive. You need to have you have to have a bunch of artifacts and not have too much overlap and bleed with enchantment synergies. Whereas I think the enchantment green base or white base decks could introduce a couple, maybe a few artifacts, not as much, but it's not as all in as the red artifacts deck. Blue is the second deck that cares the most about a second color that cares more about artifacts in this set, but it's not like all in, funny enough, like red is. So I feel like red is just kind of at the very extreme end of the spectrum for artifacts. Green, obviously, the card that cares most about artifacts, but again, it's not like you have to be completely 100% artifacts. Alright, this hand isn't bad. Do I want to play Network Disruptor on turn 1? From what I've been reading, I hear that you actually might have to hold on to this. So I don't know. Given that Yeah, given that this can maybe tap something down, and maybe it's better in the late game to tap a blocker and attack, I think I'm going to actually sandbag this and play out my eras, scry for some lands, play my Prodigy, and then take it from there. So I'm not going to run out the Network Disruptor, even though it can ping for 1. I think this could be more important to maybe leverage an attack for the Prodigy's prototype. So red-black stack, okay. Also a deck that a lot of people are kind of high on. Fetch me some lands. As much as it's a little bit rough having to bomb this, but I think it's a necessary evil. Yeah, I need my lands. Rip. Rare enchantments. We still have more win condition. We still have a lot of win conditions in this deck, but I do need to curve out. And I like the fact this helps me smooth my draws. If it was one single land on top, I'd be really happy. Alright, the Kappa Tech Records. I heard a busted enchantments, a busted spell. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to mess with it. If I play Tameshi, it's just going to end up, I can't block it, so I guess I'll have to say goodbye to his Era of Enlightenments. And in that case, what do I play here? I guess I can play Second Era and then play Network Disruptor. If I play out the prototype, he's just going to kill my prototype, so I'm just going to run out Tameshi. Keep in mind that this exiles the enchantment, so Era Enlightenment is not going to be anything I can get back, but that's okay. Next turn I can still block this and hope he doesn't bounce it back. No, I'm going to let the damage happen and then he gets to eat my Era, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. The worst case scenario is if he bounces it and decides not to get rid of my enchantment. Interesting. Okay. Alright, I guess I don't mind maybe flashing the Soul of Kamigawa and taking it from there. Although, I could play a second Era, maybe then he's willing to deal some damage to me. I can also tap this 3/3 down. I should have also maybe sandbagged my land because there's a chance he could play a Virus Beetle. But I guess I'll discard my Network Disruptor if he does so. You know, let's just run out the Era here. I'm afraid he could have removal on instant speed. And then we can keep 1 planes, I think. And that should be fine. And then maybe I can set up a double block on this eventually, and if he uses the Death Touch for this, that's fine. Twisted Embrace, alright, rip. So it's even going to be harder to block, so I'm hoping he uses his Death Touch here. This card's really good. Just use it, please. Doesn't use it still. Alright, so the opponent is still taking it slow. I guess I'll hold on to my land and then just say go here. End of turn we can flash in Koyodai, although I won't be able to attack past this 3/3. I could still block and make this indestructible, I think. But I probably want to wait until end step because they might have something. And then if he uses a Death Touch on the Era, I'm fine. He could also have a Geothermal Kami, which can bounce the Twisted Embrace back. And that's probably what he's going to do. That's a really powerful strategy. So I probably want to hold on to the Koyodai now to protect my creature. So we'll say go. And then I get a Tusu so I can set up a double block on any of these creatures with first strike. And then I can flash into Koyodai if he uses a removal, if he tries to use Twisted Embrace. Tales of Master Shishiro. Okay, I still have a good double block here. But he might just be waiting to grow this 5/4. So we'll say go. And then I could play Befriending the Apopmoths and attack for 3. I could also run out Prodigy's Prototype, but then I'll be tapped out of Koyodai. So not sure what the play is here, maybe still wait. And then I might have to just take 6 from this. It's not good here. Maybe I do need to play Befriending the Moths, pump and attack for 3. But then the Kappa Tech Record can then attack. I don't know, I think we just say go. We're finally facing against a rough opponent here. We'll probably have to just take 6, unfortunately, here. And then he gets a 5/5 Vigilance with Haste the next following turn, so yeah, we're just not doing much. Unfortunately, the Twisted Embrace Geothermy combo is just too powerful. I'm hoping he just fires it off. But Invigorating Hot Spring some more counters on his modified stuff. So yeah, I guess I can play land now and play the prototype and then keep up the soul. I guess I might have to sacrifice my vehicle for a double block here. Yeah, I guess I might have to. I could use Koyodai to protect the vehicle, but I guess the block would be that would make the most sense would be to block the 5/5 so my 2/2 sticks around. We'll try this. And then hope he doesn't have anything. Maybe a pump spell. Yeah, so it's a rough. I guess we can now flash in Koyodai at least. And protect my 3/4. I guess I should do this before damage is declared. I guess I want to use the Hand of Enlightenment here. Because he assigned this first, right? So none of them will die. I guess I should have made it onto the Prodigy's prototype actually, because I guess it goes through still. Oops, yep. I should have protected the vehicle. So yeah, it seems like maybe base green multicolor could be really powerful. And this Hot Spring is just loading up counters everywhere. I can bounce his Saga, but then the sad news if I bounce it, he can just recast it. So I think I can give my opponent this game. So yeah, cool deck. Maybe a base green 5-color strategy like Kaldheim is the way to go. The Jukai Preserver also a really good common since it makes combat a bit of a nightmare. You never know when it's just gonna load up a counter onto a creature at instant speed. So lots of good commons in green so far. Geothermal Kami, the Jukai Preserver, Tales of Master Shizero. So I could see a strategy where you just force green. But we'll see. Arrow Enlightenment on 2, fall. Yeah, we're on the draw. There's a chance they play a CMC4 greater since we're kind of going to be a bit behind. But it seems okay. We can even ninjutsu back our enchantments eventually. I guess this can't attack, so opponent might be on an aggressive strategy here. But that's fine. It's not like this is gonna do much, and if they load up counters onto this, I can always bounce it. Hopefully no Virus Beetle. Virus Beetle wouldn't be the worst because I can still discard the land and get one with the Restoration. So. And then Moonsnare Specialist is nice. I don't know if I need another land though, so this is interesting. I guess next turn we're going to play the Restoration, so we're going to find a land anyways. So we might as well draw our second Moonsnare Specialist, and then we get to shuffle our library and get a land regardless. So I don't necessarily need to have that land, although it doesn't really matter. I don't think. Opponent might be thinking of ninjutsuing this, but he still needs to pay 2 generic to get value off of it. Plays a Nezumi Prowler, sure. I can't exile this unfortunately, but the 2 life is nice. Yeah, let's just run out the island, play out the Restoration, not the fall, and then get my land. Next turn we can discard the land and then get back, and then we can also bounce something back. If we want to with Moonsnare Specialist, probably maybe the Apprentice or the Papercraft Decoy, assuming he doesn't have mana available. Hope he doesn't ninjutsu out anything too scary here. Okay, no Kappa Tech Wrecker, luckily. Dekuchi Silencer, interesting. Alright, so let's just discard a land that he knows about. And then the funny thing is, again, we get it regardless. And then we also get a 2/2 first strike, which is nice. And then now I think I'm fine running out land, and then I'll probably Moonsnare Specialist here. And the question is, which creature do I want to bounce? Probably not any of the ninjutsu creatures. Given that he's tapped out, I'm fine just bouncing maybe the 2/1 here, since he won't be able to pay the cost, and then trading for both of these is quite nice. So we'll do this, and then I'm fine trading and blocking. Opponent probably just wanted to play it out to apply pressure, assuming I wouldn't get a creature, but yeah. Seems like being hyper aggro isn't the way to go, since to eventually get your enchantments might be able to get creatures immediately in this format, so. And we have a second specialist, so we could attack next turn. And if anything goes unblocked, I can maybe bounce this back. But I don't know if I want to do that. Hopefully I can get land for Imperial Oath, and that will basically 3-for-1 the opponent here. This card's almost like a 3-for-1, you know, just. And another reason why aggro might not be great, because once the opponent gets to turn 6 already, it's like they can stabilize with Imperial Oath, get a bunch of value off the scry, and then a bunch of bodies. Life of Toshiro is really powerful, so he's probably going to give a creature +2/+2. So we're probably not going to block this, so we'll let that resolve. Take a bit of a beating. And then, yeah, we get to make a 3/4, which is nice. I can attack. If I attack, he might not block. I can play Touch the Spirit Realm on life, and maybe that's not a bad idea, given how he can just pump and hit me for 2 next turn. I can also Moonsnare Specialist, but then, the problem is with this ability, he can just pump his creature, and I won't have a good block. So I think I actually get rid of the Touch the Spirit Realm here, because the Life of Toshiro. Because if I attack, none of these have Vigilance, and there's a chance he doesn't end up blocking since he's already ahead in life. So yeah, let's just exile Life of Toshiro and Umezawa here, and then just stay. Oh, actually, I can't. Right, that's bad. I guess I can exile this instead, and then say go. I thought this answer. Yeah, I forgot this only answers artifacts and enchantments, so kind of misread there. I could chump this actually. That's also not too bad. And then once I'm able to chump this, then yeah, I think I chump it with hand. With hand is not the worst actually. Actually, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. I do want a first striker on defense. I'll chump here, and then he does get a 2/3 body, but that's fine. Jukai Preserver. Not a card creature I necessarily want to bounce, but I can lock it down with Arrest or exile it. I guess I don't mind. What I can do here is I can play land and I can exile the Jukai Preserver. And then I can also bring out my Moonsnare Technician Specialist and then get a Scry off of the yeah, I guess I don't mind this. Don't want to do it now actually. Not sure. I guess I can bounce this back and then recast it. And I still, yeah, I guess that's okay. Let's have some fun. Maybe I can bounce it back and recast it. Although, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I'm not sure if I want to get the Moonsnare Specialist. Maybe it's not necessary. I'll hold on to this. I can save it as a creature, because like the board state is fine already, and I can always... I don't want to bounce this Saga, obviously, but... And then the opponent concedes and realizes they're too far behind. Sure. Alright, number 4 Mythic still, and we only got 1 loss out of a green opponent. So yeah, pretty fun games so far. Ninjutsu seems really fun with Sagas. White seems like a really good color. Great uncommons, great commons. And blue-white, both excellent colors. So if you're ever drafting blue-white, you don't have to focus too heavily on the vehicles theme. Just make sure you pick all the good white and blue commons and uncommons, and you should be fine. And there's only really one vehicle I think that's actually good. I guess you should include the rares maybe, because the rare vehicles are obviously busted. The colorless ones. But the blue-white signpost uncommon vehicle is quite good, since we kind of went off with it in a couple of our matches. The Prodigy's prototype, yeah, this card is quite good. If one or more vehicles, so keep in mind the Prodigy's prototype also just doesn't have to attack to make the 1/1 colorless creature token. For example, if you pick up the high-speed hover bike, the 2-mana flash artifact with flying, the 2/2 flyer with flash that taps something down, you can then play Prodigy's prototype, crew a creature, attack with it next turn to make a 1/1. So yeah, didn't pull off Tameshi in most of our games. Pulled it off in one, and the opponent just conceded because they realized they couldn't kill it, and then it was just gonna keep drawing back our stuff. But Restoration of Iganjo is a really powerful card. Definitely one of the top cards in the set. Intervention was okay. Keep in mind, whenever you take a saga here, just count it as a creature, because they do become creatures in the third chapter. So didn't see too much of reframe them off. Suppose okay. Yeah, this deck doesn't seem busted. Like Tameshi and Restoration are obviously very good, along with Koyodai, and then we have some decent uncommons with the prototype, and then some good removal. But yeah, we also have some great commons too. Imperial Oath, Moonsnare Specialist. Didn't see a Network Disruptor too much in any of our matches. But yeah, we still got to 7 wins with this, and it's a pretty sweet, solid deck. So yeah, I think we're just going to do another draft to see what other archetypes we can explore. So make sure I take a snapshot. One moment for the thumbnail. Right, that's good, and then we'll claim our prize. And then I guess we can do a mock booster draft, and then do another premiere before we dive on in. I get really anxious when these new sets come out and I draft them, because I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but the format will be solved in a couple of days, I have to imagine, since the pros are grinding this non-stop, and hopefully I can indulge in enough information. Alright, pack one, pick one. What do we have here? Nashi Moon, how do you pronounce this? Nashi Moon Sage's Scion. 3 mana, 3/2 with ninjutsu for 4, so a little bit more expensive end of the spectrum. Whenever Nashi Moon Sage's Scion deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library. Okay. And then until end of turn, you may play one of those cards, and then if you cast a spell this way, you pay life equal to its mana value rather than its mana cost. Okay. So nice card advantage if it manages to connect. Doesn't seem like an insane bomb mythic, but definitely a very good one. And in the right deck that's utilizing Nashi, he or she can get out of hand. It does cost life to cast a spell, so if it's pretty expensive, it can be kind of bad. But the ability to maybe get a land off the top of your library with this is quite powerful. So yeah, Nashi Moon Sage's Scion I don't think is a complete insane S tier bomb, but definitely an A solid card. A ranking, I have to say. There's Sky Blessed Samurai, pretty good if you control a bunch of enchantments, and white is already a color that cares a lot about enchantments. Not as much as green, but still does care a lot about enchantments. There's the shrines. From what I've heard, shrines can be pretty good if you have 1, 2, or more. Usually 1 isn't amazing, but having 2 or more shrines can definitely make your deck do some crazy, silly things. Ghost Shintai is a way to punish 1 toughness, and if you have 2, obviously it punishes 2 toughness. So definitely don't sleep on the shrines. Other than that, they're still okay, reasonable cards. Like a 4-mana 2/2 Death Touch isn't the end of the world, and then the red one is still 3 mana 2/2 First Strike. The white one, not an amazing body, but 1/3 Vigilance can be a fine blocker. So yeah, the shrines, you could speculate on them, but I'd still maybe take the mythic. And then the best common here is like Voltage Surge and Greater Tanuki. I still think I take Surge over Tanuki, since it's just cheap interaction that can deal 4 sometimes. And then with the Experimental Synthesizer, the common IG that's whenever you enters or leaves a battlefield, you exile the top of your library. This is a nice combo if you're able to sacrifice it and exile a card and then cast it. Yeah, but Greater Tanuki, nice top end card, nice way to splash, fix and ramp, maybe for like the multicolor green decks. But yeah, Nashi Moon Sage's Scion seems interesting. And then the rest of the art commons were fine role players. Ooh, Reckoner Bankbuster. So this is one of the busted vehicles I was talking about. And keep in mind, the rare vehicles um, are the rare powerful vehicles are mostly colorless, so you can play them in any deck regardless of whether or not you're blue-white based. So what does this do? And there's with 3 charge counters on it, you can pay 2 generic and tap at instant speed to remove a charge counter and draw a card. So it's already going to generate a bunch of value if you can remove some counters from this. And if there's no charge counters on it, you generate a treasure token and a colorless pilot creature token that can crew this. And those pilot creatures can crew as though their power were 2 or greater. So if they're 1 power, it can crew for 3. So yeah, not a bad rare to first pick. It's just a solid. It's a solid vehicle in any color. It eventually makes a pilot that can crew it. It generates you some card advantage. So yeah, it seems pretty good. There's also Dekuchi Silencer from the last opponent we saw. Seems like an okay card. It's if you can sneak this in for ninjutsu, you can discard a creature card and destroy target creature or planeswalker. So pretty nice. It doesn't really put you up a card since you still have to discard a creature card. But can be fine if you're already dedicated to the ninjutsu deck. And I think the ninjutsu deck mostly is base Sultai, so mostly blue-black and blue-green sometimes with Kappa-Tech Wrecker, and then green-black. Kappa-Tech Wrecker is the green uncommon ninja that can kind of add a bit of a ninjutsu package in your decks. But as long as you have Moonsnare Technician Specialist, which is probably the best common in this pack, along with Kami's Flare, you can have that package. Not a big fan of Covert Technician. I guess it's solid in the red-blue aggressive artifacts deck, but outside of it, it's not really what you want, since just being able to cheat out a 2-cost artifact isn't really that effective unless you're trying to get ahead and be aggressive. But yeah, I think it would be Bankbuster in between Kami's Flare and Moonsnare Specialist. Not sure here. I think I have Moonsnare Specialist higher. This doesn't. Again, I don't think this is a format where you want a ton of removal, although removal is always good. It's just that there's all these 2-for-1s going on, these sagas doing busted things before you kill them. So maybe red got the short end of the stick, since looking at 17 lands, most of the red decks are at the bottom of the rankings, but it could change again. I can see Kami's Flare being the pick over Specialist, but at this point, early on, I think I would still take Specialist. Like, it doesn't kill anything, but it does bounce, and it has some nice synergy with the whole bounce. The red Invoke is not great, but if you have multiple, like Kami's Flare, it can be, but still kind of pricey to cast. Seismic Wave is powerful, though, just dealing 3 mana, deal 2 damage to any target, and then 1 damage to each non-artifact creature is quite powerful. So yeah, this essentially deals 3 damage to any non-artifact, and then if the opponent has a bunch of 1/1s out there, you can sweep the board. So I do like Seismic Wave, and I think it's powerful. There's Fall of Lord Konda, which is solid too. Mostly you just care about this as a removal spell. Now, wouldn't first pick this because it can only target CMC 4 or greater, but it's nice to have if you're ready in white, since it's just always solid. Like, your opponent is eventually going to have a CMC 4 or greater. I guess they can be hyper aggro and they don't have that much, but still they'll eventually have one. And this fall can be a nice answer to it, and the exile is relevant. And then we also have considered the best common in this set, Okiba Rekna Raid, as well as Moonsnare Specialist. So I could see taking Okiba Rekna Raid over Seismic Wave, but I think maybe Seismic Wave is just too powerful. Not sure. It depends on, again, the format, but a lot of people have been saying that red is kind of just not where you want to be. I don't know. I would still take maybe Seismic Wave over Okiba Reckoner Raid, but it's kind of close. Alright, I would take Okiba Reckoner Raid over Network Disruptor. There's also Ninja's Kunai. I don't think it's like an amazing colorless common, but it's a solid one. Sometimes you need removal, and this is just essentially 3 mana, deal 3, which is never bad. And the fact that this can go to any target means that it can also go to the opponent's face. So yeah, fine card, but I would still take these 2 over it. And then there's also Tawashi Gaibot, which I think can be a nice grindy value engine. I think even if you aren't playing like a focus modified deck, which again I spoke about doesn't really exist, since you're always gonna you will eventually just end up having modified in the green decks and other opposing decks with reconfigure. That it's not something you need to focus on, and even if this still puts just a 1/1 counter on a creature, and you need to pay 3 generic to tap this to draw a card, it's still a solid ability. So I think this card is actually pretty good. but I would still take Reckoner Raid. I do like the long reach of Knight, but Kodama the West Tree, what's this? 3 math 3/3, so okay body already, and then with reach is already quite powerful. Modify creatures you control trample. Again, I think green has enough ways to put 1/1 counters with cards like Jukai Preserver. You don't need to build around modify as much. So trample is nice if you have a large creature, and then whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you can just search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tap. So yeah, seems quite nice. Can generate you some value, fix your lands, helps you ramp into more bigger threats that you can then eventually modify with 1/1 counters and give trample. So not a bad mythic to open. And then second pick will probably be Long Reach of Knights, i.e. Eldest Reborn 2.0. It's, again, not Eldest Reborn, but it has kind of like a similar effect. And then there's also Prodigy's Prototype, but it's multicolor, and I think this card is quite good as well. And then nothing uncommon I'm too excited about here. Like the Showered States era, I heard is one of the more weaker sagas, but this is a nice top-end card in a heavy, aggressive red deck. But I would still take these three over the rest of these. All right, Farewell's a Bomb. Yeah, the fact that you can choose one or more and target specific categories is quite nice. Definitely very good against green decks, since green has the common Season of Renewal that can bring back a creature and enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. So against the grinding green decks, not only can you just exile a bunch of their stuff, but also exiling their graveyard is powerful. So, and white also is pretty controlling this format from what I've seen. It doesn't seem to be very aggressive. Like powerful commons like Imperial Oath definitely want to just stabilize the late game. So I don't think white is necessarily aggressive, especially since it's kind of near green in the enchantments spectrum. So I would take Farewell here. Second pick, I would definitely take Kami's Flare over Moon Circuit Hacker. Moon Circuit Hacker is good, but I think just instant speed interaction is quite important. And then there's another Shrine, which is solid, and then Circuit Hacker is one of the top blue commons, but I don't think it's up there with the Moonsnare Specialist and the Network Disruptor. But Farewell is definitely the pick here. Definitely a very powerful rare that I'd be very happy to first pick in the draft. Right. So that was our first draft that we did. And yeah, let's do our second one and see where we end up. The last draft we opened up 2 white rares in a row, and we were past the blue-white one. So let's see what we opened this time. All right, that's a good one. Yeah, Search Hacker Mech is the other powerful rare vehicle in this format, and then even if you don't have a bunch of vehicles, it still enters the battlefield and deals 2 damage, since it counts twice the number of vehicles. A little bit hard to crew, but crew 4, but you'll eventually get there if you're ahead. So Search Hacker Mech is a nice pack one pick one. I think the best uncommon in this pack is Blossom Prancer, and I can actually see this being the pick over Search Hacker Mech. This card is just a powerful 2-for-1 and has reach. I think it's a lot better than the other uncommons. This really wants to focus on a specific artifact deck. This in a ninjutsu deck. This obviously wants to be more than enchantments, but green is already really powerful and deep at common. So I could see taking Blossom Prancer over Search Hacker, but given that this is an early draft, I think we just take the open color here. The best common here is probably Jukai Preserver. So unfortunately, we might have to pass a bomb green deck, a powerful green deck, but yeah, rip. Farewell, Blossom Prancer. We have to take the Hacker Mech just to explore a bit more, but yeah, I can see the Blossom Prancer being the correct over Search Hacker Mech. Okay, there's the Fall of Lord Konda. There's also Gloom Shrieker, Incessor's Arrest, and Twisted Embrace here, which are the cards that stand out the most. There's also the Smelter, if I want to focus on a heavy red artifacts deck. So not only is, I think, this pack color preference, but what we think is kind of like the best option to be in. I could see the Soko-san Smelter here. I'm kind of excited to maybe draft some sort of red-black artifacts deck, and this card looks quite powerful, especially if we can just make a bunch of treasures with the 3 mana card that makes treasures whenever a creature dies in red-black. This does feel more of a red-black cold card, but you can still play this in red-blue, and I think it's important to assemble engines in this format over taking just a solid removal spell like these two. Fall is also fine, but I would still take a rest over it maybe, since this can answer anything. And then Gloom Shrieker is kind of just locks me in the black-green. So, you know what, I'll take the Sokazan Smelter, maybe draft a red-based artifact deck. Even we did pass up the Blossom Prancer. Alright, there's Roaring Earth. There's also an Okiba Reckoner Raid here. There's a high-speed hover bike that I was just talking about in the last draft as a vehicle that's really solid, and then Ancestor's Arrest. Given that we take the Smelter, I think we lean towards red-black, and I think Okiba's Reckoner Raid is just too good to pass up here. Roaring Earth also, I think, quite powerful, but I think we're going to shaft the green deck to our left-hand side. We're going to give them Blossom Prancer, Gloom Shrieker, and now Roaring Earth. Feels kind of sad that we're passing it up, but yeah, I'm down to just try something new, and hopefully we can get another artifact, but Reckoner Raid is the best common from what I've been hearing, so I'll take it. Ooh, Silver for Master. Okay, maybe we draft Blue-Black Ninjutsu. There's also Lethal Exploits if I want to stay open. Essence Capture, not a big fan of it because it doesn't counter Ninjutsu. I think counterspells just aren't great in this format in general. Historian's Wisdom is okay. Can kind of suck sometimes. There's also Terrarium if you want to fix. If I was still drafting green, I'd be looking at maybe the Lethal Exploit and the Terrarium. But yeah, I don't mind the Silver Fur Master here. There's also Fang of Shigeki. I've been hearing good things about this as well. But we could just move into Blue-Black Ninjutsu if we want to, since the red cards aren't very exciting. The Lethal Exploit does keep us open, but I think this card is just too good. Yeah, we'll just maybe move into Dimir. It seems like a fun archetype to be in, as we see a Lethal Exploit and a Modern Age and a High-Speed Hover Bike. Man, so many options here. Don't know what to pick here. Maybe it's still Lethal Exploit to keep my options open, so I can either end up red-black or blue-black. High-speed hoverbuck will also kind of keep me open, but I mean, it could be fine in ninjas, I guess. You can bounce the high-speed hoverbike. There's also Modern Age, though, here, too, which I think is better than Lethal, but Lethal can still keep me open. So I think we actually take the Exploit here as a fine, cheap interaction spell. Like, yeah, this could enable Ninjutsu, actually, but I think we should be fine without it. Let's take Lethal Exploit and keep our options open. And now we see Leech Gauntlet and a Voltaic Surge. Same arguments. I think we just keep our options open with Leech Gauntlet. It's just a good 2-drop. The reconfiguring, giving a creature lifelink can be quite nice. It's also an artifact for the Smelter anyways. And a nice early 2-drop we can play in blue-black over the Voltage Surge. Keep our options open. So I guess we're kind of in the Grixis lane here. And I'll take another Okiba Reckoner Raid over Virus Beetle, which is also quite powerful. There's also Experimental Synthesizer as the as a nice artifact in red-black that you can sacrifice, but you can't say no to a million Okiba Reckoner Raids. I'll play a million of these. And then, not much here. The Brute is okay. Could take Moonfolk Puzzle Maker. It's a good blocker. Nice 3-drop for maybe ninjas, even though it's not a rogue. It could still be okay. The Brute Suit also gives me another vehicle to go along the Surge Hacker mech. So maybe I can speculate on that, and it does hit pretty hard. So, yeah, if I'm going to be playing the Surge Hacker mech, I don't mind another decent vehicle here with Brute Suits. And then I guess we're passing a Puzzle Maker, but we're still keeping our options open. Yeah, I think it's fine over the Mech Hanger, which I don't think is... I don't really want to play a colorless land just to make my artifacts, my vehicles into creatures. I don't think it's a huge theme in this format. Like, you either open up a really good rare vehicle or you don't, in my opinion. And if we do end up black, I don't mind a Iron Hoof Boar, since we can be kind of aggressive. And then it can be a fine combat trick, and then an artifact we can play later. These are all okay. Papergraph Decoy could also be fine. I guess you can always sack it and then Jitsu it and draw a card, but it's still kind of pricey. I think we take the Iron Hoof Boar. Maybe lean into red-black and see if it's open. And then I don't think we need to focus on another Brute Suit. I guess we can take Decoy now, since both of these cards seem kind of medium. 5 mana, totally lost. Ogre as a fine artifact creature. I'll take a Decoy. don't think I need to. I don't like multiple vehicles because they can be kind of awkward in multiples, but having at least one access to one copy of Brute Suit could be okay. And the decoy could be fine if we can sacrifice it later. So ninjas or ogre here. I guess we can still keep it even split since we already have a red card, and the ninja deck just seems really fun. I'm going to take the Kuchi Shadow Walker here. Ogre's okay, but I don't really think red-black is trying to be aggressive in this format, so making a creature unable to block is not really amazing, I don't think. And then another late lethal exploit we could take here over the Chain Flail Centipede, which is okay. That's a fine attacker. But we'll just take a lethal exploit, and then we can... no, I don't think this card's great. Just take a return to action. Not sure if we need to play it. And alright, we'll see. We're in Grixis. We're base black. Not sure if we're black-red sacrifice or blue-black ninjutsu yet. But we'll see. I think the red-black sacrifice definitely want more cheap stuff to stack, obviously. But we'll see. The Shrine is okay. You could just take a Virus Speedo. I think the Virus Speedo is actually the correct choice over Twisted Embrace, from what I've heard. There's also the Undercity Scrounger, which plays really well in red-black. But I think we're just going to take the Virus Speedo as a good creature we can ninjutsu. It's an artifact you can sacrifice in red-black over the Shrine, over Twisted Embrace. I think we'll take it. I think the Twisted Embrace plays better in black-green, where you can bounce it back. Okay, so we're seeing some good, decent blue cards here. I don't mind the land here. The red cards doesn't seem exciting. There's the Undercity Scrounger, I guess. There's also the Runaway Trash Spot, which is fine, I think. It counts artifacts and enchantments in my graveyard. It's a fine blocker. But the land is actually nice. Just, you know, it's kind of flexible. It can be a spell we could play. And then if I'm to take a black card anyway, I have to debate again against blue-black and blue-red again, regardless. There's also Searchlight Companion, also makes artifacts and is a creature we can ninjutsu, so I can even consider that. This is okay. It's a fine blocker, but it counts towards a graveyard, so it's best in a red-black sack, not necessarily red-blue. Blue-black. I mean, I could still take Searchlight, maybe. Yeah, I'll still take Searchlight. If blue is open, we'll get us Moonsnare Specialist, and this card's okay. Just stay open still. Ooh, late Twin Shot Sniper, but there's a Moonsnare Specialist. Why do we have to choose between this? I think it's a Twin Shot Sniper. The card's just too good. I mean, this is almost like Mythic Uncommon status. If I was to pack one, pick one, I think this is correct over Specialist. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to keep waffling around here. I hate passing this up since we have Silver for Master, but this is just too good. Can't say no to Twin Shot Sniper. Card's pretty ridiculous. And then, yeah, we get past Ironhoof Boar. There's an Eekrise Infiltrator, some random artifacts, no amazing blue cards. Yeah, Bronze Plate 4 is fine. 3-mana 3-2 with Trample is okay. You can reconfigure later. If we want to stay open, could consider the Searchlight Companion as well. I guess we could consider this still. I don't think this card is that amazing. It's kind of expensive to reconfigure, and a 3-mana 3-2 Trample is just fine. Infiltrator is also a fine way to enable ninjutsu, but it's just okay. Could also consider Iron Apprentice, but we're not loading up counters anywhere, and it's just okay too. We'll take a Searchlight Companion. Keep our options open still. I mean, I think we're just red-black. I mean, I don't know. If we were past the Moonsnare Specialist. I do like this. I also like this. Why do they have to make it so hard? The funny thing is, this is not really an artifact, so I'm not really too high on this. Maybe it's Specialist now. We don't have that many artifacts, but I guess we do have a bunch of them. So even if we end up blue-black, it's fine. So I guess we just waffle around a bit more until we find out what's going on. There's a Simian Sling. I guess we can take a Chain Flail Centipede, which is fine. Sling is fine too. I guess it's a cheap artifact you can sack, but I'm down for just a Chain Flail Centipede to stay open. I could see the Sling being a better card, but again, we'll just keep our options open again. I just take a solid card. The Modern Age pretty late, and Synthesizer. Why do they have to do this? There's also the Containment Construct, but we aren't discarding much yet. I think it's Modern Age if I have to pack one, pick one. God darn, this is so rough. I mean, we don't have that many rogues. This is so rough. I'll take the Modern Age. And then now we get past all these good red cards. I don't even think Go Shintai is great. I mean, I could speculate it, but it's kind of late for artifacts. I think the Simian Sling actually is better than Bronze Plate Boar if we do end up red-black. So take it over to Bronze Plate Boar. And maybe I missed out on the experimental synthesizer. I don't know. This is rough. Oh yeah, we're seeing more late cards. Okay, we're definitely red-black at this point. Rip blue cards. And we still got one anyways. I think I take over to Kunai. Could have maybe had 2 shrines, but I'm still fine. I don't think that's what we're trying to do in red-black, honestly. We just want a bunch of cheap stuff that we can sacrifice, and yeah, even Undercity Scrounger made it to us. So red-black is definitely very open. And then we're just gonna... I don't think we need Dakuchi Shadow Walker. Iron Hoof Boar can maybe go since we're not aggressive. We're just trying to grind here, so I'm hoping we can pick up the Anvils and get away with the game. Only Cold Anvil will be really powerful. Guess I'll take another board. Not sure if I'll play the second one. So red-black is more of a mid-range deck. It's trying to grind and then just it's just trying to grind. It's trying to chip in for incremental damage over and over, and play a kind of a mid-range game where you're chipping in for damage and just looking to sacrifice things for value. Yeah, I should have maybe read the signs knowing that blue-black wasn't open, because it's not like Replication Specialist is great with rogues regardless. But luckily, red-black might be just so open. We even got a late experimental synthesizer, so I guess we don't miss out on much. Not gonna play Shatter States. It's fine, but I think if we're gonna be base red, we need to go kind of all in with this drain strategy in red-black. Kami of Industry could be fine, 6-drop, I guess. I guess it's better than Iron Hoof Boar. Iron Hoof Boar feels better if you're more aggressive, it feels like. Or Kami being able to bring back your artifacts from the graveyard until end of turn could be fine. Especially if you're looking to sacrifice them again. But let's hope to open an Oni Coat's Anvil or get past one in the next pack. Could also use some Recursion maybe in this type of deck. We'll see. Ooh, there's Satoru Umezawa. But I'm not going to splash it in. I don't think we're trying to do the whole ninjutsu thing. I think if we're going to be red-based artifacts, we want like a Reinforced Ronin. There's also Long Reach of Night, which is great, but we're not trying to grind. Yeah, the red-black deck just wants to be really low to the curve, wants a lot cheap in artifacts, so I think I take Reinforced Ronin here. Pack 1, pick 1, Satoru Umezawa would be an interesting first pick. Definitely really powerful, especially if you can go off the whole ninjutsu thing and just draw a bunch of cards. But yeah, it doesn't seem like we have the right deck for it, so yeah, we'll take the Reinforced Ronin as a cheap artifact. And alright, we can take Experimental Frenzy here. So yeah, I think we could be the more aggressive version with a bunch of early 1-drops. And that way I probably don't want too many expensive cards like Kami of Industry now, since exiling this can be kind of annoying, especially if I can't cast it, but maybe one could still be fine. Hopefully pick up some Kami flares, some voltage surges. But yeah, we're just trying to get in for incremental damage over and over and grind the opponent out with value. There's a Go Shintai, but how can I say no to a million experimental synthesizers? I think this is the best red common from what people were saying. So I'll play into their idea, but we could have had 3 shrines by now, FYI, but I don't think that's our strategy, even though it would be okay. So this pack is a bit of a blank. Nothing I'm too excited to play, nothing too exciting to splash, honestly. I think the best card here is Gloom Shrieker, but I guess we can take the Haven in case we need to fix our mana. Pretty bad pack for us. And we can have aggressive starts, I guess, with like Raid and Ronin and Simian Sling, but it's not like it's not like our creatures are hitting that hard early on. Okay, another lethal exploit, a random artifact. We could have had like 6 shrines. So funny. I guess we just take another lethal exploit. And then Ambitious Assault. I guess there's Explosive Entry. Could play one Explosive Entry here. It's not bad, and they're always bound to have some sort of artifact. Seems fine. Might play it though. Who knows? Guess this makes up for the Kami Flares we passed up. And then we also have the Simian Sling as an equipment and Leech Gauntlet, so we can eventually maybe get some reconfigure going on, so we can make this -4/-4 hopefully, or -3/-3. None of this matters. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're getting cut off. I mean, we're not seeing any amazing blue cards either. So maybe now people are kind of know where they belong, and they yeah, I think people already know where they belong. So it's we just kind of have to get lucky in the final packs. But we still got like triple experimental synthesizer. Funny enough. I don't know if we want to play 16 lands, but I can see that happening if we're gonna keep cantripping with these and we're gonna be low to the curve. Alright. Actually, I think the pick here is actually Kumano faces Kakazan. Again, we're playing red, so we just want to... I guess... Ooh, never mind. Patchwork Automaton seems quite powerful. Didn't see this card. Yeah, whenever we cast an artifacts spell, we just load up counters onto this, so this can grow to be quite large. And it has a ward too, so it seems like a good card in this deck. And then now we can take our Bronze Plate Blower, but is it better than Undercity Scrounger? Actually... I mean, it's pretty insane, the Smelter, but maybe we can diversify to have one of each, maybe. But still being able to enchant this reconfigure onto a big flower could be fine, but it's so expensive. I still think we want to diversify a bit. I'm not sure if I want to overcommit. And then, none of these matter. I don't care about any of these. We could even run 16 lands, I think. But I think we would need like another, like one drop, or maybe we can play Explosive Entry. Perhaps Aki Ember Keepers, also just medium. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I guess there's obviously two types of red decks. There's a red aggro version that's I think base blue red, and then the red grindy mid range version, which is red and black. I guess I can play You Are Already Dead. It's not bad. I mean, if I'm gonna be attacking, and then if I deal damage, I can use this to finish them off. And my curve is pretty low, so I think we can run 16 lands with this. So yeah, what I was about to say is that yeah, there's the red black grindy version, which wants to play like these dirtily cards, and then there's the red blue aggressive version that wants to play things like the ogre, the unstoppable ogre, and like the bronze plate boar. Because boar is not amazing in our deck, so I should have maybe take the Undercity Scrounger, but. At the same time, our deck also just doesn't have that many payoffs for running red-black artifacts outside of the Smelter. So someone was taking our Onikote Anvils. But I still think we can maybe just try to run this and see if we can make it happen. So let's give this a shot. And then mana base, I think we can maybe go down a single mountain, and then we're still at 16 lands. And we should be fine, so let's give this a shot, see how it goes. And then, yeah, we'll synthesizer our egg. Ooh, we're facing against Beers SC. All right, one of the top drafters on Magic Online. This should be a pretty difficult matchup, maybe if I'm not careful. We'll try it. Can leave with Simian Sling into Papercraft Decoy and then maybe play Synthesizer. So this guy's a very good limited player and a great drafter, so this might not be an easy matchup for us. Also, rank 420 for those of you out there. Commune, alright, so he plays Commune, and he's in green, so seems like, Harmonious Emergence. Yeah, let's leave the Simian Sling. And do the whole load to the curve red deck plan. Ooh, Twin Shot Sniper, I guess we can play black, and then we can attack. Decoy, seems fine, and then next turn we can play the Synthesizer, maybe. Oh, I guess we can play Reinforced Ronin as well. Do I want to play that? I guess I can leave with the Synthesizer and see what's up. We still get a land, so that's nice. And then, yeah, I could reconfigure here for 2, but I think we just want to get as much damage as possible and just bring out a Hasty Ronin. And then we can smash him for 5. Eventually, I guess he can enchant this next turn. Opponent just concede. Wow. Alright, sorry, Beers. I hope this doesn't show up on, like, social media or anything. Probably not, hopefully, because, you know, I shouldn't be ranking 4 Mythic, because I got there with MID drafts, not by doing this shit. But, I mean, I guess I'll just take the win. Would have been great if this deck had an Onicone Anvil. Like, imagine the value I can get, the life drain going on, along with like cards like Okiba Reckoner Raid and then Experimental Synthesizer and all that jazz. Okay, I guess we have Reinforced Ronin to hit a bit. I could end up flooding with this type of hand, but with Reinforced Ronin, maybe Lethal Exploit to get something out of the way, and Twin Shot Sniper, we could be okay. We can even cycle the Reinforced Ronin once it becomes irrelevant, so we'll keep. So, yeah. So hopefully not a million lands, but we can keep smacking him with this Ronin for now. I mean, we are running 16 lands, but we are drawing more lands, so I guess we just keep running it. And then once he plays a big blocker, we're probably going to give up on this. Could see a Wanderer's Strike here too, or a Wanderer's Intervention. Yep. I keep confusing this with Wanderer's Strike. Was that, I think that was an Award of Spark. It was like a 4 or 5 mana exile that proliferated. Alright, so the opponent is playing a more grindy game with a Mnemonic Sphere. The decoy could be fine because if it dies or we sack it, we can pay 2 generic 2 draw card. If he plays a 2 toughness creature, I'm down to just play Twin Shot Sniper, Moonsnare Specialist. Okay. Just buying some time here. Searchlight Companion. Yeah, this is a perfectly fine target here. I think we just run out to Sniper. Imagine this in blue-red, like it's a creature that has to be blocked since you can bounce it and then just recast it. So next turn we can play Searchlight and Papercraft Decoy. Alright, is this good to lethal exploits? I guess we can leave with experimental synthesizer, or we can wait. I could just stay back here, or I can attack and use lethal exploits. Huh, interesting. I think I'm down to just play out my stuff. And then we can sit back with the 2-3, and if he tries to enhance this, we can maybe do something, maybe find an answer to this. So we'll say go, and then by playing out our stuff this turn, then we will have more mana to maybe cast our stuff off of Experimental Frenzy. Having access to Smelter would be nice, since then I can convert these all into 3-powered creatures and get value. So blue-white's Artifacts, Network Disruptor, maybe tapping down my 2-3. That's kind of annoying. I guess I'll just have to take 2, since a double block here wouldn't be great if he has something and I don't have mana to keep up. So I'll have to take 2 here if he decides to attack. So yeah, making the race a lot harder. Might not be a good matchup since he's generating card advantage and just stabilizing against us. So, ooh, Simian Sling with Lethal Exploit isn't bad. So let's see. First things first. I think we can play Simian Sling, and then we can equip on the Searchlight Companion in attack, or maybe onto the 1/1. Yeah, I guess I can equip onto Searchlight Companion. If it get bounced, I can recast it again, and then maybe I keep up Lethal Exploit for the Golden Tail Disciple. But I guess I can safely attack here, and then I'm fine to distrace for my 1/1. If not, I think I can play land and say go. I'm not going to use Experimental Synthesizer because there's a chance I can cast something else. I could also move the equipment, but then it'll be 2 mana. I think now that he's tapping for Thirst, I'm fine using Lethal Exploit here, so he doesn't get to respond. But the opponent is generating a lot of card advantage, and yeah, could be kind of difficult to beat. Discards 2 lands, so all the value. Opponent attacks for 1. I guess I can block it. This is a strange attack. I think I'm going to block it. I can lose my Twin Shot Sniper to a combat trick, but that's okay. This is a weird attack. I mean, I don't want to ninjutsu in like a Moonsnare Specialist. That can be kind of annoying. Suit up. Okay, that's a fine. I need to be careful of that trick, so gotta keep my eye on that. But now I can play out Synthesizer. Ooh, the Encharted Haven. Okay, we'll play this, naming, I guess, black or red. It doesn't matter, I don't think. Yeah, we'll name red. And then I guess I can stack it, but it's probably better just play another Experimental Synthesizer with all this mana available. And then we can still play Virus Beetle, which is nice. And then just attack with everything here. And then next turn we can sack 1 and take it from there as well. Not sure if attacking with all was correct. I should have maybe considered not, since he can maybe ninjutsu this back, which can be annoying, but this is only a good card to ninjutsu if you're ahead, but I'm hoping he doesn't like get like a Prosperous Thief or something else. But he discarded it, so you could have something better. Behold the Unspeakable, that's a really powerful uncommon. Okay. So we won't be doing anything next turn. Patchwork Automaton. But I think we can maybe afford to sack this first to see what's up. Still get a land, so that's not bad. Play land, play Patchwork, and then next turn we can take it from there with the experiment. We can sacrifice this, so he gets to get more value. But luckily he hasn't been developing the board or anything. Hopefully this can grow. He can always bounce this with a dumb ninjutsu creature, so I gotta be careful. So this is going to become a 5/5 or a 6/6 next turn, depending on how much cards he has in hand. Alright, Noriyika. So I do need to keep up blockers with that, otherwise he can get back like Golden Tail's Disciple, but first things first, let's sack. Hopefully I don't flood out too much, since this game I've been drawing so many lands and I get another land. Not where I want to be, so I think I can maybe afford to attack for 2. I guess I can reconfigure. I guess I need to keep this blocker back. So I guess I can reconfigure, equip onto, I guess, a decoy and attack. And then I still have some 2/2s to hold off the 3/2. Move the combat attack for 3. He could have a bounce spell here to mess with me. And then I can reconfigure onto the Searchlight Companion to hold off the 1/1 next turn. He can attack with this next turn and bring back the Golden Tail Disciple, which can be kind of annoying. But I'm down to just maybe use a sim. I'm down to still block with a flyer maybe, and I still have some 2/2s that can on the ground that can handle this 3/2, so this is fine. And I might double block this just in case he has a Wanderer's Intervention. So yeah, this is just a great uncommon, being able to stabilize his board and hit for a lot of damage. Opponent also has a lot of card advantage in his deck too, so the Suit Up Thirst and the Mnemonic Sphere. Befriending them off, so he's going to attack with a flying 3/2. That sucks, because now he can get back the enchantment creature. Alright, that kind of sucks. And I won't be able to block it next turn anyways, even if I suit up the Papercraft Decoy, so we're probably going to lose this match. Doesn't seem like a match we can win if the opponent keeps gaining life and getting back his enchantments. Chainflower Centipede, I guess, could be fine. But I guess it only works while you're attacking. I mean, I might as well try. And then I might as well reconfigure. And then, where do I equip? Could equip onto Decoy, and then if Decoy trades off, I can still draw a card by paying 2 generics, so I'll try this. I guess he can buy it back, so maybe that wasn't the right decision. Alright, maybe that really wasn't the smartest decision, but at least I can draw a card here. And I guess I can play out the Scrounger. I mean, eventually he's going to run out of, I mean, he can do it one more time, I guess, which is fine, so... Alright, I guess it's okay. I'll be taking a lot of damage this turn, though. Do I really want to take 8? I guess he's going to keep this back. Yeah, he brings back his enchantment. Funny thing is, he can start chumping with the Befriend the Moths too, and then eventually bring it back with Norika, so this is not going to be easy. You can just sit back all day and just keep grinding, and then I don't think another Searchlight Companion is going to do it, so maybe we just concede here, because this whole engine here I don't think I can beat. I think I'll concede. I can wait a couple more turns, maybe find a removal spell for Norika, but then I think I'm just going to fall too far behind by then. Not sure. Maybe it was fine. He would have chumped with the Golden Tail Disciple, get back Befriend the Moths, and then his 3/2 wouldn't be able to attack. But then his Behold the Unspeakable will just be attacking me with a bunch of trample damage, and then I would need to find removal spells for both. So either way, I don't think I was in a good shape there. This wasn't a good matchup for us. The opponent had way too much life gain, way too much card advantage. And we just drew too many lands, even off of the experimental synthesizers. We flooded out pretty badly in that game, so I think it's fine to call it. Sometimes you just need to know when to concede. Alright, we don't have any red mana. I mean, this hand would be amazing if we have a single mountain, but I think we have to mulligan here, otherwise it's just too risky. But it would have been a great hand if we had a mountain. Okay, we have to keep, unfortunately, here. And then what do I get rid of? Maybe Searchlight Companion? Maybe Synthesizer? With a single red synthesizer can maybe help us dig. I think we have to keep all these three. It's between Searchlight and Brute Suit. Brute Suit can hit pretty hard. And we do have a second Searchlight companion in the deck already, but the thing is, we might not have anything to crew the Brute Suit, so it's going to be kind of awkward. So I think we take the Searchlight companion instead. And we got red mana, so alright. Fire this off later. I could fire off now, but I still have quite some pricey stuff, so I'll say go, keep up Twin Shot, can cycle Twin Shot to maybe handle a 2-toughness creature, or just use Lethal Exploit. Okay, unfortunately I won't be able to answer a Trash Bot, so we'll say go. And then play out Searchlight Companion. Next turn we could cycle the Twin Shot and Lethal Exploit the 0-4. 2-4-1 ourselves to get rid of this. But I might start with an Experimental Synthesizer instead. Modern Age, alright. Some more value, so hopefully we don't run into a bounce spell. Opponent can attack us. We'll take it. Even decides to discard just to get the attack in. We'll play Synthesizer here. Get a land out of the way, and then probably not going to sack this. Probably just attack for 2. And then say go. Yeah, the Saga's giving value is just so good. It seems like removal really isn't great in this format. And then eventually he can cast like an Imperial Oath for 6 mana. Replication Specialist has to be dealt with. Okubo Reckoner Raid is good. I think it's this turn we just I mean I could save this, but the thing is he can copy a bunch of artifacts next turn and that's gonna be a problem. So I think we have to kill this, unfortunately, before it gets out of hand. Luckily this is an artifact creature, so it doesn't grow from the runaway trash bot. But we literally had to 2-for-1 ourselves there, and that's not good, so. Maybe we can just drain him out, who knows. Yeah, oh wow, you got a second Replication Specialist, alright. It's probably just GG's here. Second Okubo Reckoner Raid, sure. Probably sacrifice this turn. And then hopefully I don't get anything too expensive. Reinforced Ronin is nice. Alright, we'll just recast this. And then play Okubo Reckoner Raid, play out lands. And then we're still not attacking, so. Yeah. If we had Anvil, we might have a chance, but we don't. So the opponent can just eventually outvalue us, make a bunch of blockers off of the Replication Specialist, and win the game that way. Opponent even decides to attack, so no fear. And this is officially blank, so I might as well cycle it next turn. Patchwork Automaton doesn't seem bad, although it's going to take a while. Take 5. No fear. Futurist Sentinel he can easily crew, but I do have some chump blockers, so ooh, he gets to make 2 of them. Alright, I guess. Yeah, it's just game over. We're not beating this. Alright, so yeah, I mean, in the right red-black deck, maybe this would have functioned right, but we need our anvils. We can't win this game without the Onicode anvil. Yeah, I guess this could be a disappointing draft, but we can still fire off another one after this. But I still believe the red-black deck is good. It's just that we didn't get the anvils. It was still the right thing to do, I think. But I can honestly see red being the weakest link in this format because you have to kind of go all in with these artifact strategies. But I think if it comes together, it's really powerful. So I'm still not opposed to red. I can just see that it's kind of underwhelming in this format because of all these 2-for-1s and enchantments like the Modern Age going on. It's like can you kill the opponent quickly with your early 1-drops? Can you grind them out with the after the early damage? And if not, do you have some flyers in blue-red to close out? And if you don't, you know, you're just going to have a bunch of large creatures. And if you can't attack past them, it's just game over. And it's kind of bad since if you keep drawing your lands, it's not going to help you advance. I mean, if you fall behind like almost like one turn, it's really bad. So it's even worse against the Moonsnare Technicians, since in that game you saw how I just drew a bunch of lands. I mean, I drew a single land off the top, and I knew I wasn't going to come back. Maybe the right thing to do is go 15 lands, not sure. But we'll see. Lost 2 in a row. This could be our final match. Yeah, it's kind of awkward too if we don't have early mana, but at least our red mana, but at least we can play Patchwork and then into Leech Gauntlet, so I'll keep. And I guess into Brute Suit if we get our 3rd land, so maybe having this in our opening hand might save us. And it's War 2, so it's not the easiest to answer immediately. Probably fine running out the Papercraft Decoy, although now he has a good blocker. We'll play the Decoy first over Leech Gauntlet, since I don't mind this trades or dies. We'll say go. And if he attacks, I think I block here. Since I'm missing land drops, I don't want him to just deal so much damage. I can't do much. It would be nice to have 2 mana available, but I think the block here is still correct. And hopefully I get a land eventually soon. Circuit Mender, okay. We can still attack past this next turn. Right, Leash Gauntlet, attack for 3. And Reconfigure only looks okay. I mean, yeah, Reconfigured looks fine. It's just kind of pricey sometimes. And the fact that this doesn't bring a stat boost is kind of underwhelming. So I still need to be careful here. Okay, no freaking lands, so at least we can play Raid. Kind of sad that we're missing our land drop, and a single land drop miss means like you fall so far behind. Kind of sucks, but you know, gotta do what you have to do. Next turn probably Searchlight or Brute Suit. Brute Suit can start enabling some good attacks in. He can kill this now, since he could have like a removal spell into ward. But we still have a 2/2 lifelinker that can hold the bay a bit, so another Circuit Mender, good card. Alright, since we don't have any good attacks on the ground, if I get land, I think we Bren out the Search Party and take it from there. I could also reinforce Ronin, but I think the Searchlight getting in the damage is nice. And then we do need to make this into 6 power and 6 toughness to keep attacking, but we'll do this instead. So opponent in like a Mardu plan here. If he plays Imperial, if we still have a good blocker on the ground. Twin Shot Sniper can also shoot one down in Junji to Midnight Sky. Alright, that's not going to be easy to beat. So if it dies, choose one. Opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. Or you put a non-dragon creature card from your graveyard into battlefield under your control and you lose 2 life. Alright, so that's going to be rough to beat. If I attack with this, I have no way to finish it off. I could Simian Sling, I guess. Probably going to just keep playing out the Ronin to grow my creature, but I think what we want to do still is be mana efficient here. And I guess, yeah, we might as well play Simian Sling. I can attack to maybe get rid of this. It's not the worst, but I do end up discarding 2 cards, so probably say go. Maybe have to take a hit from this dragon, and then we can maybe attack back and take it from there. Maybe with some lifelink, that would be nice with the Leech Gauntlet. So I guess we can even crew this up. Yeah, I can reconfigure and hit for a lot, but the opponent has his mana open, so I might reconsider here. Maybe it's just Twin Shot. I could also reconfigure here. I guess I might trade off the Brute Suit this turn. Maybe Experimental Synthesizer to maybe hit a land, but if I hit another red spell, it's kind of not great, so... I don't know, I could Twin Shot Sniper the Spirited Companion, I guess. And then attack. So let's try that. And then we can still Brute Suit up the, doesn't matter here, the 1/1. And then he's probably going to chump and then draw a card here. He could also double block the Road Captain, but I think I only attack with these 3. He could double block the Brute Suit, I trade off 1 Circuit Mender, and he can take 8. Probably see a removal spell here, maybe, yep. I guess that's only 4 damage. So he can still, I guess, he's still kind of forced to double block, in a sense. Draw 2 cards, but we still get to kill both of these at least. And then smash it for 5. Not the end of the world, but definitely going to set us back a bit. Card is pretty solid. Would be nice in our deck. And I'll take 5 here. Opponent passes turn, okay. We can still attack with a Menacer. I guess this also has Menace. So we can lead with Experimental Synthesizer since we are missing some land drops. We'll play our land. And then we can crew here. I guess crew the 1/1. And then we can even reconfigure onto the Nezumi Road Captain. And then attack for 7, since they both have Menace. Which is nice, so. And then, yeah, we'll say go. No need to reconfigure here. Kind of crazy how the opponent just passed the turn and did absolutely nothing. Cloud's still curing, I guess now I can't win. Alright, so is there a way I can kill this? Probably not. So once he reconfigures into Junji, I just lose the game. Since I don't think I have an answer to this. I guess I can still kill Junji. Yeah, I guess I can still get his life points to 0 and then kill Junji. And take it from there, but I would need a bunch of reconfigure going on, so we'll see go. Alright, we'll play the Synthesizer, I think. Might as well play land, and then what we can do is I guess we can play the Ronin and crew. I guess it doesn't matter, he's going to be at a low life point anyway, so we'll just do this. And we might as well, I guess, reconfigure here, and then gain 4 life, and attack, and then we might as well cycle the Reinforced Ronin since he's going to be at 0, and I just need to kill Junji to win the game, so we'll say go here. I can't win, but as long as I kill Junji, and that he should be dead. So as long as his life is at -0 and he doesn't have a way to gain life, I should be fine. So we need to just keep drawing into some more stuff to eventually take this out. So first things first, I guess I can stack the Synthesizer, or maybe cycle Ronin. I think that's probably better. Undercity Scrounger, okay, I'll play the Scrounger. Play lands, just... darn, I should have maybe reconfigured. I messed this one up. Let's just attack. I guess I might want to keep the reach creatures back to have a double block maybe, so. In case I feel like he might end the game out of nowhere. So how do I kill this? I would need maybe double lethal exploits. Maybe I would need to set up a turn where I double block and kill this. Yeah, I might need to set up a turn where I double block this to win the game. So first things first, let's activate the Synthesizer. No lethal exploits. Alright, I guess I can play Okiba Reknarade here. And then we just want to crew, I think, to and then hit for 4 to stabilize a bit still. And then, yeah, just might as well just attack. This way I can buy more time. Say go. And then, yeah, we just need to kill this. So, I need my lethal exploits. I'm hoping to set up a double block against this, kill this, and win the game. Opponent decides not to attack. Okay, there's my lethal exploit, so let's see here. If I reconfigure, this will be -4/-4, so not necessarily lethal. I guess I can still attack here and then use lethal exploit to finish this off. But first things first, let's use the synthesizer. Got Chainflail Centipede. Yeah, I'll play it regardless. Get some value, and then I might as well attack here. Yeah, I might as well crew an attack. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. And then if he blocks, I might as well use lethal exploit, and then I should be able to win the game. And then we want damage to happen first, right? So we'll let damage happen. I gain some life, and then we will use lethal exploit and then hope this resolves. And then we win the game. Alright, that was a long match. I think the opponent got like overconfident, thinking he was going to win by just having the equipment on the creature. But keep in mind, once the creature dies and you're at negative life, you're just going to lose. So the Cloudsteel Kirin, actually, I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's really that powerful. It's good if your opponent doesn't have removal, of course, because you can just sit back with a creature all day and do nothing, and they can't win. But if they have removal, then once they kill your creature, then it's almost game over. So I guess I can be kind of down on the Cloudsteel Kirin. And then the thing is that the thing also in this format is that there's a lot of there's removal for every color in this format. Blue has the bounce snap, the Moon Snare Specialist, the bounce, Tamiyo's Completion, as well as the 4-mana enchantment that locks things down at instant speed and gets rid of all abilities. White has the Arrest. I guess that doesn't get it off the battlefield still, but still has the Arrest. Wanderer's Intervention as well. Maybe the artifact removal, enchantment exile as well. Red has the Flare and Voltage Surge. Green has the Rebuke, and then the Fade into Antiquity as well, and then Black has Twisted Embrace, Lethal Exploits. So every color in this format has removal, so you can't always guarantee winning with the Cloudsteel Kirin, so keep that in mind. If I exiled a lethal exploit, that would actually have been worse, since the opponent was going to play around it and not block. So I'm actually happy that he blocked. This hand isn't amazing. With third land, we can at least play Bronze Plate Boar. I'm still going to keep it regardless. It's not a great hand. It's not a great opening hand. Not the best, though, but not the worst. Hopefully I can get black mana, and there's a 2-drop I can attack, and then draw a card. Yeah, this card is okay. Reconfigure is just too expensive. I guess I can lethal exploit that one. Seems fine. Just to buy some tempo. And then, yeah, I'll play the Boar. That's Trample, which is nice. Next turn we can play out Searchlight, and then also You Are Already Dead. I guess I can reconfigure. I guess this is going to become a 3/4. I'm fine attacking the Simian Sling, although if I attack with a Simian Sling, the problem is I lose my reconfigure. But I might as well, because I want to cast You Are Already Dead. So I'll attack for 1. And if he blocks, I'll kill it. If not, we'll leave it up and then play Searchlight Companion. And then next turn that can, I guess this can block the 7-Tail Mentor next turn and cast You Are Already Dead. Hopefully it doesn't play a creature beforehand that can get a counter, so. Yeah, this is okay. Reconfigure is okay, just too expensive. I think the best reconfigure is the Rabbit Battery, since it's just so cheap. But the more expensive reconfigure is, the worse it is, so I think this card is just very meh, just very medium. So kind of down on red now after seeing how reconfigure is just so pricey. So red could be the worst color in this format, I think. Even though like Kami's Flare, Vulture's Surge, Experimental Synthesizer seem like great commons, I can imagine red just not being great. It's not, I don't think it's as bad as other colors, but it's also just not very good. So this can block. I guess I want to lethal exploit this. If I do, I won't be able to develop the board, unfortunately. But it might be too scary. Yeah, I'll lethal exploit it and hope he doesn't have anything here. Alright, that's gone, and then I'll attack for 1. I guess I should have reconfigured. So, oops. Yeah, maybe attach it to a search party. Searchlight companion, so he should have been at 15. Clicked a little bit too fast there. Opponent probably missing the second color here. Befriending them off so he can hit me for 4. So I might need to set up a turn where I can block this and use the You're Already Dead next turn, since this is a lot of damage. So let's see here. Can I reconfigure and play a creature? Probably not. So I guess I can attack with all and then play Search Party Captain and then block the one with the flyer. And then cast You Are Already Dead, since I don't want to take a million damage. Although this Befriend the Mobs is going to be annoying, but I think we still get rid of this ASAP. And then we can still reconfigure and attack past the Moth as well. So it's not the end of the world. There's a chance he also stays back with this. And if he does stay back, then we might need to save this for the Befriend the Moths. Yeah, this card is only real. I like this card. I mean, but it's only decent when you're aggressive. If you're kind of behind, it's not a card where that you want. So I will block this if he attacks. Opponent just passes a turn. Okay. Right. So he probably knows about You Are Already Dead. So now what? I think we can safely attack with 2 of the flyers here, and then maybe run out to Chainflail Centipede and keep up You Are Already Dead in case something goes awry. I guess I can still chump the 5/5. So you know what? Let's move to combat and just attack with these 2. I guess I can still attack with the 1/1s. Interesting here. Do I want to save You Already Dead for the Moths, or do I want to save it, use it on the 5/5 here? Maybe it's fine using it on the 5/5. And then we can still reconfigure and make our, like, flyers large with the Bronze Plate Boar and take it from there. And I guess this Chainflail Centipede can also pump our creature when it attacks, so it can still trade for the Befriend the Moths. So once he blocks, okay, Wandering Emperor, that's busted. Alright, that's a bomb.
Now you've done it.
Sure.
That's coming off.
It's not the end of the world. The opponent even takes it here, so what does this do? He can +1 to give a creature first strike. He can create a 2/2 white Samurai creature with Vigilance. Okay. So now I guess we just play everything out here. And then we might have to just take 6 damage from this 7-tail Mentor next turn. There's a chance he will plus on the Befriend the Moths, but it's only first strike until end of turn, so I can eventually attack into this and cast You Are Already Dead. But yeah. This card is really good. This is going to cast 5 to reconfigure, so I'm hoping I can get a land maybe, enchant, attack, and then maybe trample over, or just attack his face. Maybe the game plan is just to go face. I mean, I don't really want to attack with this because he can block it, and being able to just reconfigure this and then make our creature large over and over is quite powerful. So I guess we can enchant both into the flyer next turn, and then take it from there. Okay, so he just makes a samurai creature, so playing a lot of defense. I can take 5. lethal exploits. So this is interesting. Um, he might have a trick here. I can equip maybe the centipede and take it from there. If I equip onto the searchlight companion, I could just reconfigure a bunch of stuff here and then use a removal spell to kill this moth. I guess that works. So what we can do is we can reconfigure. I guess we'll have to do that next turn. Huh, this is very interesting here. Yeah, you know what, let's just reconfigure, I guess here. And then reconfigure the Simian Slings, and then pass the turn, not attack, and then save the lethal exploit until next turn. So I probably don't want to attack, just say go. And then next turn we can kill this for X equals 4, and then this turn we can still block the 5/5 and use You Are Already Dead. I guess I might not want to kill this, because if I do kill this, he can lay a counter. If he kills my guy here, it's going to be kind of annoying. Opponent's just wondering why I didn't re-equip Bronze Plate Boar for some reason. He could have a removal spell, I think. Maybe he has... I'm surprised he even decided to minus to make a 2/2 Samurai creature token, since he could have just kept plussing here. Maybe, I guess he could have another powerful bomb that he's sandbagging in his hand. So I'm not sure what the why he decided to get rid of the Emperor here. Another 7-tail Mentor. Okay, so the Imperial Moth is gonna... I'm hoping he doesn't put it onto Imperial Moth, but if he does, I can still reconfigure and kill this, I guess. But he could have like a Wanderer's Intervention, which can be kind of annoying. Okay, so he enhances the 3/3. I can still take 3 and still be okay. Yeah, he could have an intervention for my Searchlight Companion, but I still think I have to like go for it next turn. So I'll happily take 3. I guess I'll take maybe 5. I could also block. I'll take 5. It's not the end. I guess he doesn't have the intervention since he's tapped out, so... Right, so what's this? Oh, I guess it's different. It's each modified creature, so I do need to reconfigure again, I have to imagine, so that kind of sucks. So I guess we want to reconfigure for cheap here. Yeah, I messed this game up, I think. Yeah, I might as well reconfigure the Simian Sling onto, I guess the Boar isn't the worst, so maybe we can trade. And then we'll use the, use this and hope it resolves. He could have a +1/+1 counter trick for 1 mana. And that would kind of suck. Or a bounce spell for this. If he does have a bounce spell, he can recast and then pump his creature next turn. And then I might need to stay back. And then block, and then use You Already Dead. Yeah, he probably has a 1 mana trick here. Regent's Authority. That kind of sucks, but at least I can attack this turn. For 3, and then keep up You Already Dead. Maybe use that next turn. Yeah, he had a stupid trick. Okay, so do I block with a Bronze Plate Boar? Might not. Maybe the play is to block with a 1/1. And then use You Already Dead, or maybe it's fine trading and then I can use this for the flyer. The question is, can I attack past this? I guess I can. If I reconfigure and give this +3/+3, it can pump itself, gain trample, and then attack past this moth. So it's probably best to just block here and use You're Already Dead, or at least, I don't know, it could be both ways. I think blocking here could be fine because I might use this, I might need to reconfigure this to maybe attack back with a flyer eventually. Yeah, I'll chump here, and then we'll kill this end of turn. Or I can just keep chumping. But I do have another lethal exploit. I don't know. I mean, equipping here and attacking is almost the same regardless. So we might as well cash this in while we can. And yeah, this can attack for a ton, so we can get past this moth, assuming there's no trick. But yeah, reconfigure, it's okay. I mean, the problem with reconfigure as well is that if the creature gets bounced, it can set you pretty far behind. So I'm not sure what the opponent wants to do here, just equip. Okay, so I might have to save it for this. I guess if I equip here, yeah, I guess I have to save it. Alright, so I'm probably not going to use You Are Already Dead here to kill this. We'll just say go. I can play Virus Beetle. I think it's fine attacking here with the Searchlight Companion. He blocks, I finish it off. And take it from there. And hopefully I get my second Searchlight Companion. So we'll just let this damage resolve. And then, I guess we can play Virus Beetle first. The Smelter is nice. Let's see. So, probably want to keep the Simian Sling on Bronze Plate board, maybe to trade. Or I guess I can put it onto something else. I'm not sure here. I guess I can play this instead. And then we can start turning our artifacts into 3/3s. Seems fine. I can still trade the 4/3 for the 3/3 if I think it's going to hit me for a ton. But now being able to convert all of our creatures into 3/3s could be something that can help us win the game. But the fact that this has trample is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I even want to block, to be honest. Because the trample can actually help us win, maybe. And if he locks us down with an arrest, I should still be fine. Another beframe the mobs. Alright, so that's bad. So that's bad news. I think I need to be aggressive next turn then, and maybe attack with all. Does this give haste? Yeah, it says haste, so... Alright, so I think we need to get really aggressive next turn, and not mess around. Ooh, Twin Shot Sniper, we can maybe kill them if we're not careful. Although, if I play out the experiment... If I guess I can shoot them for 2 in the face. Make a 3/3 haste. He can... And I think we have lethal, because, yeah, what I can do is I can shoot them in the face for 2. And then sacrifice this Twin Shot Sniper, attack with all. What happens? He blocks here. He blocks here. He blocks here. I guess that's 4 damage. Yeah, I guess we do that, and we steal the game that way, so. And hope he doesn't have, like, 1 mana gain a million. Or gain 2, so we'll shoot the face. And then pre-combat, we'll pay that 1 generic to sacrifice the Twin Shot Sniper. And it has haste. So we can attack with all, and then that's game over. So very close match. But the opponent playing mono whites almost got us. Right, so we're 3-2. As long as we get up to four wins, at least I can make up most of my gems. Right. So yeah, it's just one more win and we can make up most of our gens and we should be fine. So, alright, red could just be the weakest color, so don't prioritize red as much. I guess that's the assumption we have to make now, but it feels bad having to like pass up a twin shot sniper pack one pick one. Again, it's just that, you know, the artifacts are just kind of underwhelming with the whole reconfigure thing, and you kind of need to have an aggressive early game, a bunch of one drops plus like your payoffs to really make the red deck stick. And I don't think red green is great. I don't think red white is absolutely amazing. I think in red you want to be in the Grixis colors, mostly red black and red blue. So it's still kind of narrow. I mean, I'm not saying hard avoid red, but just be careful about moving into red in this format. If it's open, definitely jump into it. If you're getting like past triple commies flare, Oni Cult Anvil, but don't go hard into it. That's what I'm just here to say. And the experimental synthesizer is great, but not in the early games. Like, you don't want to play this out immediately. It's kind of nice if in later though. So I'll be taking 3 here this turn, and then Scrounger can help me block the 3/2 next turn. Gets rid of the safekeeping, so that's not bad. So green white enchants, I have to imagine. Take 3 here. Question is, next turn do I double block? Maybe not. Maybe just block with the 1/4, so we don't take a million. I can also play Experimental Frenzy and then Okiba's Reckoner Raid. But I think we played a Scrounger here. And then the question is, do I attack for 1? I could set up a double block again. But maybe I don't double block. Maybe it's okay setting up a double block if he attacks. But the thing is, if I attack, then he can free roll me. If I don't attack, then there's a chance he can stay back, and I think he's going to stay back. No, I guess he can pump here. Okay, I guess we'll be taking 4. Alright, just getting curved out here. I can kill this at least with the Search Hacker mech. Or I can just play a bunch of 1-drops. I think Search Hacker mech is nice here. Would be nice if I can make a treasure, but I guess... Oh, I guess I could. Oops, I guess I could have made a treasure. Yeah, it's fine. I have enough artifacts in this deck, and I also want a blocker against this 2/3, so... I forgot this was free to activate. So I could have made a treasure, and then maybe play out Okiba's Reckoner Raid or something, or keep up the You Already Dead. But it's fine. It's not the end of the world, and we can still have a blocker against the 2/3. Boseiju reaches skyward, so he's going to have a Giant's Tree guy late eventually. We can maybe start crewing and attacking, we'll see. So first things first, I think we can lead with Experimental Synthesizer here. We can Brute Suit. We can play land, we can crew to Brute Suit and then attack with a mech. Alright, I don't hate that. And then we can smash for 5 and then still keep the 1/4 back as a good blocker. And say go. Could have had 1 extra treasure, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. And next turn, if we can get 4 power onto the battlefield, we can, I guess we can sacrifice the Experimental Synthesizer, but we need another 1 power for the Brute Suit. So I'm hoping we can maybe like go off next turn, get in a huge attack before he makes his giant tree, and then we can still save You Already Dead for that tree. Banishing Slash, kind of annoying. Luckily he doesn't control an artifact, so he doesn't get to make a 2/2 at least. But still kind of slow me down a bit. But I can still attack with a Brute Suit, which is fine. And then, do I sacrifice the Experimental Frenzy first? I guess I can. Let's do that. And hope I don't get anything too expensive off the top. Just a land, so not a big deal. So we can play land here. Crew, and then do I want to use You Are Ready down to 2-3? Probably not. I think this is fine. And then hope he doesn't have anything, and I can at least get him for 4. So go. And then he gets a big tree. And I might need to just attack into this tree, or maybe play defense, have him attack me, and then kill it with the You're Already Dead. Tails, okay, so the opponent's going to be quite aggressive here. Alright, so the opponent's stabilizing. I can still block the 3-4 with the 1-4, and that's fine. I'm not going to use the You're Already Dead on it. I'm probably going to, you know, attack with the Akiba Rekner Raid once I get it online. We can Lethal Exploits. Does that do anything? It can give -2, -2. I don't have any Reconfigure or Modified. So that's interesting to note. If I use this in attack, the Lethal Exploit doesn't get much. So I think we just say go. And then I hope the opponent attacks me with the Boseiju, so then I can kill it. Oh, okay, decides to put it there, so he's definitely going to attack, I feel like. And then I think I chump with the Virus Beetle. We can still make a treasure end of turn. The funny thing is he gets a 5/5 next turn too from this card. So we'll let the damage happen. I can activate the Scrounger, make a treasure. And then I can cast You're Already Dead on the Boseiju. Not a card I like, but I'm fine playing one copy, usually with a bunch of dirty creatures. Drawing a card is nice. Leech Gauntlet is okay. Yeah, we'll say go. So, yeah, we can play lands. I can crew the Mech Suit, attack, and then use Lethal Exploit to finish it. Or maybe I need to save my Delethal. I guess this has Menace. That's right. So I can attack with some Menacers here, which is nice. So what I can do is I can play Leech Gauntlet. I guess I can crew the Leech Gauntlets. I guess I can also reconfigure onto the Leech Gauntlet as well. He's holding up an instant for sure, but yeah, we'll crew the Leech Gauntlet here, reconfigure here to get some life gain going. And then we can attack with both of these, and then that's 6 damage, putting him down to 3. And then hopefully he doesn't have anything here. He makes a 5/5 of Vigilance next turn. We can still Lethal Exploit and then kill it, maybe. But let's get in there. And he probably has something. I guess I can Lethal Exploit here just to reduce the damage. And this doesn't do anything, so now we get to smash in for 6, which is quite nice. And then now the opponent might have to just stay back here. And we can say go. And then I'm fine maybe taking 5, maybe. He has haste too. So I think I'll let this happen. I'll take 5. And then see what we can do next turn. I guess if I attack with all next turn, if assuming I can make a 1/1 creature, then I'll have 2 Menacers. You'll have to block the Brute Suits. 2 can slip through, and then the rest can slip through. So I probably need a good top deck next turn, and I can't really afford to throw any creatures away. So hopefully he's out of stuff, and I can just maybe swing with all and kill him. Because this is a must block. Instant arrest. Okay, I guess I can crew this now. And I guess that's lethal, right? So if I crew this, attack with all, he has to double block the Brute Suit, but I'm getting in for 4, so I think we go for it. I guess that can't crew. But if I crew here, I guess that's fine. Since then, again, this assuming he doesn't have anything, I think we have to go for it here. And hope he doesn't have anything. So yeah, a removal spell will blow me out here, but either way, I think we have to kind of get greedy here and attack with all. You could have a stupid Wanderer's Intervention. Or he's just holding full control to maybe pretend. I'm hoping he doesn't have a second Master's Rebuke. I'm hoping this is just a bluff here. Anything can blow us out, but I think we have to go. Like, I can't give my opponent more time, since he's just going to keep hitting me for 5, and then he can top deck into any other bomb, and we're not that type of deck that's trying to stay safe, so... Alright, this has Menace, so he needs another blocker. Yeah, I think the opponent realizes that. Yep. Maybe he forgot. Alright, I guess that makes things awkward. This also has Menace, so this is a really nice vehicle to have one of, I think, in any deck. Just because enable artifact synergies, is a good attacker, its crew cost is very low, and it also has Menace. So yeah, the opponent needs to double block this. So yeah, I don't think you can do that, opponent. So maybe he just made a mistake. Should have maybe played something out, not sure. But yeah, he needs to double block this, and we can at least take out the Mentor. Hope he doesn't have a removal spell here. We can still put him down to 1, but we can at least get rid of a blocker. And is that lethal? He could have a removal, but we can still put him down to 1. And then we still have 2 attackers next turn to put him down to 1, assuming he doesn't top deck anything. But yeah, I think the opponent messed up. So we made back our gems. 4 and 3 isn't a bad record. Maybe we can get 5. I'm fine selling with 5 of this deck. I think this is kind of like a 5 wins deck, honestly. It's just okay. And most of the games we can easily lose. Like in the last one we previously played, if the opponent had a single removal spell, he would have stalled us. And it would have been kind of awkward. So it's kind of a very high risky strategy if you want to draft red artifacts, because you have these insane incredible starts and kind of insane incredible late games, but like almost 1 or 2 single removal spells can just blow you out. And if you don't open up your payoffs, like the anvil in black red, it's going to be really difficult to grind the opponent out. The anvil is really powerful with Scrounger because you can just stack the treasures, make 1/1s, and then the 1/1 can eventually block, and then you can just keep converting all your artifacts into 1/1s all day. So, and then also you're getting the drain bonus. So anvil's pretty nice in black red, obviously. So. This hand is, I guess we have Smelter on too. It's not the worst with the Papercraft Decoy. Kind of sucks that we can't guarantee black mana, but I think it's still fine keeping. And then we probably want to lead with the Papercraft, I think, and then sacrifice this maybe on turn 4, as the opponent plays Reckoner Raid on turn 1, which is always scary. Just a great uncommon, probably the best, a great common, probably the best common in the sets. And then, I'm not sacrificing a decoy anytime soon, but I still think we play it first. I could always attack with this first, and if he doesn't block, I can pay the 2 to draw a card. So I think this makes more sense. Could see the opponent maybe ninjutsu this eventually. Covert Technician, not bad blocker. Alright, we might be in trouble. I'll just play land, and I'm not gonna sack this. Nope. Nope. Question is, do I double block? He does take out my Smelter, which isn't great. So probably no double blocks here. The Kunai is annoying. So now he can take out my Smelter, and I won't be able to sacrifice and make a bunch of 3/1s all day. I can still kill the Nezumi Road Captain with the Twin Shot Sniper at least, and block off the 2/4 in the meantime. But if I was him, I'd kill this immediately. Yup. Smart move, and then he can attack for 2. Decides not to attack. Interesting. I could attack and then cycle this and kill this and draw a card, but that seems like it's too much. I think it's fine just knocking out this here. and then maybe draw into black mana to lethal exploit and get in a good attack. So you go. And this way this can still block the 2-4. Long Reach of Night is really powerful. Right, I guess now we just need to start sandbagging lands. So discard this. We finally get our black mana, I can attack and then use lethal exploit, I think that's good. And then, I don't really want to discard anything though, but I think we might have to. I guess we can stack the Papercraft Decoy and draw a card off of it. So we might as well sack this and then draw a card after this chapter, so we don't actually lose card advantage, I guess. We lose tempo, but not card advantage. And then hopefully he doesn't have a way to loop this. I guess he now gets a draw card. So I might need to save lethal for the 2-2 or something else. Right? Do I play out land? I think having double swamp is important, so I will. I can attack for 2, and then next turn I can still attack and maybe lethal exploit the 0-4 way, even though I don't mind using on the flyer. Yeah, I might put this higher on my pick order since it's not only an artifact but draws you cards, so having one copy is never the worst. So does this have menace when it attacks? Yes it does, and it can attack for 2. Acquisitions Octopus, so now I probably need to stay back or at least answer this. I guess now he can equip and I might as well kill this in response before, I guess I might as well, I guess I want to kill the Octopus instead of the 2-2 because it's just gonna, this is worse than dealing with the Flyers, so he can hit me for 2, but that's better than the rest of the other stuff. And then, yeah, we're probably just gonna take 2 next turn from this. And then I might as well hold on to my lands and at least keep this back to hold off the flyer, but it's not looking great here. Twisted Embrace, yeah, it's probably just game over now. Good games. You can hit me for 4. This card is great. This card is awesome. Jeez. Right, land's not going to do it. I think it's time to concede. If I knew how to Twist Embrace, maybe I'd stay, because I could at least kill this, hope to kill this eventually and hit back, but I'm falling too far behind here. The opponent has a 2-turn clock on us already, so yeah, fun matches, but it seems like sagas are really powerful. You want to maybe gravitate towards a more grindy strategies with the blue ninjutsu cards bouncing your sagas back, or the green strategies where you can buy back enchantments and play large creatures to block. The red strategy is a little bit more risky and volatile, and it's only really good if you're like almost the only red drafter at the table, or at least one of the 2 that's able to just put a bunch of 1-drop artifacts into the deck. So yeah, this is our deck. It's not amazing, and definitely needed the Anvil, needed maybe a Twisted Embrace. What it did right was the 1-drop, the 1-drops artifacts that we have. So I think we did that correctly, but in terms of removal, we didn't always have the most promising removal because most of it is conditional with lethal exploits. No anvils, only the smelter, and then yes, the other artifacts are just fine, not amazing. Chain flail, bronze plate board doesn't seem amazing in black red. I think this is more like a blue red card, but even then, it's just too expensive to equip sometimes. Just an okay uncommon. So it should have been a common, honestly, and the reconfigure cost is just too much. But overall, just fine deck. Maybe could have considered maybe going to 15 lands too, which is also not unreasonable. But I think for consistency sake, we want to go 16 lands because we might need the mana available to activate the synthesizer and at least draw a card off of it. So either way, it's a fine deck. Red does not seem very impressive in this format by any means. But no way am I going to avoid red if it's really open in draft, but I'm definitely not going to prioritize it. So let's claim our prize. And then let's just open up some packs and then, round out this video. Ended at number 6 Mythic, so not too bad. And then we got to rank 4 Mythic with the blue-white deck. So let's see here. Let's pretend we're drafting The Neon Dynasty. What do we open here? Naomi's a fun card over Invoke. Maybe I would take Invoke still. It's really powerful, and blue's a great color. I can still be like a heavy blue deck. Hopefully, I don't mix it with red. But yeah, this card is quite excellent, even though it's a lot, steal any artifact or creature. And tap is quite powerful. Naomi is also pretty powerful too. And then you can even go like green-black, splashing whites. Green is a color that can fix and do almost anything in this set. So you can go green white splash black or green black splash whites, and Naomi is a pretty powerful card. Just so much value, and if it's able to get in one attack or two, it's almost game over. Since the 2/2 vigilance that it generates is just so powerful. I'm not really a big fan of Born to Drive. Like again, the blue white vehicle thing, I don't think is really what you want to do in the set. Like you can use this as an enchantment, I guess, for flexibility, and then you can maybe make a large creature with the ability. But like, there's just Moonsnare specialists in this format. There's just a lot of removal going on. Fade into Antiquity to answer these enchantments that it's artifacts enchantments that is not really reliable. And then the channel ability is just a medium. Again, I don't really care about vehicles that much. Like I'll play one brute suit, but then all the other rest of the common vehicles are just very medium and not really where you want to be. Searchlight Companion is also okay, nice for the artifacts deck. Red base artifacts, and it's also a nice creature that you can ninjutsu and then recast eventually to make a chump blocker, so it's okay. And then I don't think Puppets is really that great, just kind of medium. But yeah, I would take Invoke here, follow up by Naomi, and then the best common is Fade into Antiquity. Just has a lot of targets. It's not always amazing since it's sorcery speed, so if you need this to answer like a saga, it's not amazing since they can usually get their first or second chapter off right away. But it's still fine answering like other enchantment creatures and artifacts. But yeah, this card's okay, but I still think these two are way better. Yeah, this is one of the weaker marches. I'm not sure what the other marches are. The March of Registarl, the black one is very good. The white one is very good since they're just removal. The red one, I'm not sure what that does. I know they have Flame Discharge for X, but I'm not sure about the red one. And then the blue one, I'm also not sure about. I guess the blue one phases things out, so it's okay, but it doesn't kill things. So the black and the white one are the best. The green one doesn't seem great. It's a tutor effect, I guess. I guess it enters the battlefield. So I guess you can use this to cheat out a creature in your deck. So it's actually not unplayable by any means, but it's not like a great, amazing limited card. If you have like an expensive creature that you want to get out from your library, you can use it. But if you draw into the creature, it's really not that great. If you have in your hand, I mean, like you're going to use March of Burgeoning Life on like a random 3-drop or a 4-drop. So it's just kind of medium. And then sorry, I was about to go through the pack there. I forgot what it was. I know there was another good common, but I accidentally clicked. But anyways, let's just move on to the next pack. The March is not amazing. And the thing I was about to say is you might have a lot of card advantage in green already. So Spirit's Sister's Call is very interesting. I've actually been reading some articles stating that this is a bomb. So how does this work? At the beginning of your end step, you choose target permanent card in your graveyard, okay? So it's only your graveyard, and it's only during your end step, and then you may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with a chosen card, okay? So if you're more heavy artifacts or enchantments, or if you're both, you can sacrifice the artifact, and then what does it do? You return the chosen card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and it gains, if this permanent will leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else, okay? So it's a nice way to maybe reanimate something back from the graveyard. But it does end up getting exiled if it ends up in if it would leave the battlefield. So even if you would, like, for example, ninjutsu the permanent, if it's, for example, a saga, it would be considered leaving the battlefield, and then it just ends up in exile. So I'm not sure how this works, but I've been reading some articles, and people say this card is excellent, and definitely a pack one pick one bomb. Not sure how I'd build around it. Yeah, this is interesting. The thing is, you would need something cheap to maybe sacrifice, or unimpressive to sacrifice in your deck that can maybe like generate some value a bit. I'm not sure. I guess it's decent with like Just search the Spirited Companion, the 2-drop that draws a card. You can sack this and then bring back a Saga of some sort, or maybe sack a Virus Beetle to get a good artifact back. I don't know. I don't know if this is a bomb. I would have to see this in action to be convinced. But looking at this card, it looks like a medium build around. I don't think it's bad, but it has to be in the right. But it's also like not an amazing card unless you're in the right deck for it. Like if you're obviously in the right deck, I think this card can definitely like get out of hand, perhaps. But I don't know how this works. Um, Yeah, I don't know how this works. It doesn't. I don't know how. I can really. I can see this being okay, but I'm not convinced. I would need to see it in action. I'm not sure. I do like Fall of Lord Conda. It's a nice removal spell that can bring back a wall that can maybe chump block and draw a card later on. But mostly this is just a way to exile a CMC4 greater, which will definitely come up in all your games. The wall, however, might not end up dying, but against like big green creatures is nice. Chump block sometimes and just draw them. So it's a fine uncommon. I don't think it's like White's best uncommon, but a good one. And then there's Unforgiving 1, 2/3 Menacer. If it attacks, return target creature with mana value X or less from your graveyard to battlefield, where X is a number of modified creatures you control. So it's going to take a bit of work to get some modified creatures going. But if you're in green you can just put 1/1 counters on your creatures. Or if you're in or if you have a bunch of reconfigure, it can be okay. I prefer to play this in like green, because in green you can just put the counters immediately and you don't have to focus too much on paying like 5, 2, 4, 6 mana to, or even 1 mana to reconfigure onto a creature to get this trigger going. But if you're able to bring back like a 2-drop or even 3-drop from the graveyard, that can be quite strong. And the fact that this has Menace is also quite decent as well. So I think this uncommon's good. I don't think it's like impressive or a top uncommon, but it's fine, and a card that you're happy to pick up if you're in the right deck for it. And then at common, not a big fan of Coil Stalker. I guess if you're more green base aggro, which could be a thing with green red, it could be decent. But yeah, I guess you have some ninjutsu synergies. It's fine, but it's not like that impressive. I think the best common here is between like Searchlight Companion and Koi. And yeah, given the fact that Koi just has good stat lines, I think I'd take it here. And has some synergy of artifacts. I guess this also has synergy of artifacts. I don't know. I'd probably still take Koi because the stat line is a lot more impressive. Haven't been too impressed by the Searchlight Companion, even with the last draft that we did. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my video. And yeah, I'll be doing more Premier Draft Neon Dynasty once, so I can figure out about this format more. But yeah, it's definitely a blast. I think all the colors are relatively balanced. Red slightly worse than the rest, and then green slightly better than the rest. But it's not by much. It's not by miles. Where like in Midnight Hunts and Double Feature, all you did was draft blue, make a bunch of zombies and decay tokens, and in AFR all you drafted was a red-black treasures, which was not really fun. Obviously there are some exceptions, but it's for the most of the time you're leaning towards a heavy color preference, whereas in this format I think you're fine just staying open, and even if you have to draft red, your deck can still be quite good. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoy my video. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for more Neon Dynasty Draft, and have a good one. Take care. Bye.